Let's see. Awesome. The music's off. I got you in charge of singing. You ready? Awesome. All right, we'll get started because it's like 10 minutes after the hour, so I don't want to keep you guys too long because I know you guys all want to get home and do your beach body thing and share with people and do your workouts. But anyway, we want to say thank you guys for coming. Brigitte and I put some stuff together for you guys. We want to try to do more meetings and type of things that can help you guys. We have a lot of great support here, so thanks for coming. This is recorded too, so if you have any coaches on your team that aren't here, they will be able to see Brigitte looking to the camera.
Yeah,
no, they'll just be able to see the screen and
okay,
hear the audio. So you can share with them. I was talking before with Scottie here about setting a goal for Super Saturday in January, because we have someone from corporate here for our Super Saturday, so we set a big goal. Big. Like this is our Super Saturday before 2 times ago. So what do you guys think we can get for our Super Saturday? How many people should we have at a meeting? Let's hear it. Who wants to throw out a number? Gucky threw one out. What do you want, Gucky? 200 people. Awesome. Let's do it. I think we can do it. So anyway, we got some things we want to share with you today. We're going to talk about, I'm Scottie, by the way. We're going to talk about some things like Brigitte is going to share with us about social media, like how to use social media for your business. I know a lot of you guys are moms, busy dads that need to expand your network, to get away from more people and connect with more people to help them. So we're going to talk about that, and then I'll talk about, I asked in our Idaho Falls page, like who needs help with like what? And you guys said, how do I answer the question, what is Beachbody? So we're going to talk about that. I want to make you guys interact, so you're not just sitting here, so you're going to actually not just learn, but apply what you learned today. So we'll do that, and then I had some people also ask about leadership, like how do I lead my team, or how do I lead my challenge groups, or how do I get people to see the vision for their life like I see for mine? So because when you get somebody else to act on their vision and their dreams, that's when your business is going to grow because they start to change. So we're going to talk about those things, and then Alicia, put her on the spot, she'll end out with a couple words at the end of our thing. So together we are better. But first of all, I want to introduce Brigitte. She's going to talk to us about social media. She's like the social media queen. She started she shouldn't be chatting here. She started out in April of 2012, so it's been 18 months now. 18 months. She just on Thursday, was it Thursday it came out? Thursday. She went from number 25 to number 21 in the company of 130,000. Right here. She also went 8-star qualifying, which means she has 8 diamond coaches. And I'll just tell you guys, I have 7. So you got a rock star right here. Brigitte's awesome. So she's got some great things to share with us. She's built a business really fast, really quickly, effectively. So, Brigitte, your turn.
Okay, we're going to start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and this is the button to switch sides.
Okay, and how much time?
Just go tell 11.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to kind of start off with my story and how I got started. One thing I do. But when I started out as a coach, I had 200 friends on Facebook. And one of my big concerns, like I had seen Scottie on Facebook and stalking him. And we think you're maybe a year older than me. We knew like a lot of Facebook people. So it's like I felt like all my Facebook friends knew Scottie. Like they already knew Beachbody, they already knew, and kind of situations like, well, I I have felt so annoyed by them. Like, honestly, like, just felt like, just wouldn't signal my answer, kind of thing. Like, just always counting the same people. And I didn't want to be that guy. Yeah, I didn't want to be the person who felt like I was constantly talking to the same people in the time. And so I was really hesitant about doing it. It took me 6 weeks before I made that decision. And just going back and forth because I didn't know. I mean, I don't like doing things if I'm not going to succeed. And I had a hard time seeing how I could succeed if I only knew so many people. Especially from the dork in high school. I'm not the most like outgoing. I mean, I try really, really hard. But I'll be honest, I'll focus to myself. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to speak for you. So it takes a lot for me to like stand up for you. But I knew that this is what I wanted to do. Like I knew that I had an opportunity to really help people, and to know that my life really mattered. And so I set out on a journey to find new people. Like whatever it takes, I'm gonna find people. There's people out there who want help. And there's people out there who are looking for something. And I knew that. I just wasn't sure how to find it. So I went into research mode. Couple different ways. Maybe I'm just
we'll get it done. No, thanks.
Okay. So this is how I started. So like I said, I had 200 friends on Facebook. I hope you guys all have pen and paper and you're all writing notes. If you don't, pull out your phone. You have a note app on it. You have a smartphone. Start taking notes. At least bullet points so you can remember. So we're going over it. Just reading over there. Okay. I started out with 200 friends on Facebook. So my very first day as a coach, I went to my mutual friends. Well, I made my profile public. I was private at that point because I didn't want people to find it. You guys need to have public accounts if you want to be found. If you hide your business behind a bushel, nobody will find it. You need to be found. You need to be open. Put yourself out there. If you have something that you don't want people to see, go put it on a private blog for your family. This is your business now. So you want to be found, you want people to find you. Make it public. Then you need to start going to the mutual friends and start adding friends every single day. You focus on 30 day. I love this national coach call that we just had in the summer. That's 30 day. I love that 3 days. Just focus on 3, 3, 3. So adding at least 3 people a day to your Facebook account with mutual friends. I mean, going through the mutual friends and stuff like that. Yeah, I got lost. Okay, you will sometimes get lost. So you have to be careful. And it just happens every once in a while. One thing I've always done is send them a message every single time. So she's not here, but there was one of my closest now in this area. When I was going through my mutual friends, I know she had like 40 mutual friends. I didn't recognize, but all the mutual friends I did. So I'm like, I sent her a message and I'm like, okay, this is totally, don't think I'm a creep, but I know you have 40 mutual friends and I feel like I should know you, but I'm totally drawing a blank. How do I know you? What's your name? How do I know you? And turns out I didn't really know her, but she was a couple years younger than me and grew up in my neighborhood. Friends with my little brother, but had I ever really talked to her, no, she was much younger than me. But we just started talking on Facebook and I just started breaking the ice, and I didn't mention anything about each body. So you want to send messages to every single one of these people. You're not just adding them as mutual friends. If you don't contact them and start a conversation, it's 20 friends. You need to start a conversation with these people. Do not bring up each body. I did not want each body to come up. So if they brought it up, I was like, change the subject as fast as possible. I'm like, oh yeah, no big deal. Maybe something else. So for example, this girl, her name's Renee. I had her as a friend. I just shooting the breeze, like, oh, what is your family up to? And what are you doing for work? Oh, that's so cool. So just shooting the breeze with this girl. And I'm like, oh, it's so nice talking with you. I'm sure I'll see you around social media and the conversation. Then I was following up with her, liking her photos and stuff like that. I saw a photo of her working out one day. And so I sent her a message and I'm like, hey, who's amazing? Are you a trainer? Are you a personal trainer? What are you doing? And she's like, no, I just like working out. I'm like, oh, well, I thought this was a challenge. This is just the way. And if you're really into fitness, you would totally fit into this. You love it. You love that environment. It's like, oh, what is it? Blah, 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 blah. So that's how Renee joined my business. That's how she's an Emerald coach now. Just started out as a stronger. So that's how I focused on. Oh, I keep hitting this. Okay, so I was just adding people. I'm not bringing it to each body, but if you do 3 people a day, you add 3 people a day. Start shooting your breeze with 3 people a day. You're not bringing it to each body, and another 3 people you do invite a day. That was kind of my standard. And the 3 people I invited were people that I had constantly previously sent messages with. So, like when sending her a message after the classes. Oh, hey, it looks like you worked out. You can join the group. Okay. Okay. Comment and interacting with people. Here's this whole Facebook affinity. I'm going to talk about this later. But with Facebook affinity, the more that you interact with people, the more you comment on their stuff and show interest, and people more interested in showing you. So if you feel like nobody's liking your post, no one's commenting on your post, go comment on their post. Go like their post and tell them when you see your post. So I remember seeing this statistic that it was like 10% of the people of your Facebook friends see your post. I'm like, well, that's not enough. That means 20 people. I've got a market of 20 people attacking you. I'm never going to get to dive in. So you got to interact. Now, if you have kids and toddlers or stuff, I all the time told my husband works from home. He was on the computer all day. And we have like free time a little bit and they're putting computer. He had a box of a box. Anyway, so he was stuck at the computer. And I remember asking him to log into my Facebook account and like interacting with other people, commenting on other people's posts. For Tara Carr at Summit said that she does the same thing. You put things on lists on Facebook account, and you put some of all your prospects on the list. I had a list: real life, Beachbody World, and prospects. Oh, and my coaches. All my coaches know I like your stuff. Good to support you. Beachbody World, you're gonna get a ton of Beachbody coaches that are adding new friends, and that's it. You know what? If you go to Scottie's account, you have 200 people liking his posts. They're all Beachbody coaches. So add them. They're gonna like your stuff. It boosts your Facebook opinion. That's my opinion. And also, I've added people, and I thought they were coaches. So don't be stingy. That's my opinion. But adding people, comment and interacting. So I put them on the list, and I have my husband open the list and just like comment, so that they will see my posts because interaction on their page. As far as messaging goes, so the other thing that I did was going down my Facebook friend list and going to the very bottom, and as much as possible, like, because if you open up your friend list, you see outfits after that, and then do that. So if you open up your friend list, it has the people that you interact with the most at the top. You guys know exactly. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. So all those people at the very bottom, they don't see your stuff. They probably have no clue that you're going to have no clue that you're in the fitness challenge group. So you need to interact with them. If you're not seeing them on your Facebook newsfeed, they're probably not seeing you. So scroll all the way down to the bottom. I would click on that person's name and I would send them a message. And you'd be like, oh my gosh, you need to pop up in my newsfeed and have it seen anything. Like, what have you been up to? Just shooting the break or something. There was a few people. I was a total ghost in school, and moving back to Idaho Falls, I was like, what am I taking this? I'm like, everyone's gonna go. She's such a boy. I remember in high school. So there was a couple people, I'm not gonna lie, about from high school. Then, she was the popular girl, and she was the biggest story, and the biggest loser that I messaging her. And so there was a few people that I was nervous to message, and so I just interacted on comments, and I let people I felt comfortable do that. So no excuse to do it if I can do this. So messaging friends. What this did, so for example, one of my diamond coaches is Lydia Meetham. Lydia Meetham was a popular girl in my high school. And there's no way that she knew who I was, I'm sure of it. But I started, somehow we were Facebook friends already, but we never interacted, we never talked about it. But she was one, when I went down to the bottom of her, my account, I'm like, oh, yeah, Lydia. She totally would do that for that. But I don't have to get invite her. So I went to her page and I just started liking and commenting on posts, and I'm like, oh, that's so cute. This is so cute. Sorry, like, Okay. So I went to the bottom, started messaging and commenting, finding things that we had in common. And what happened is now my coach was showing up at the meeting, and she sent me a message. Oh, thank you. It was like, hey, I see that you're doing these challenges. What is that about? I invited her to do one, and she was the one who's like, okay, I'm gonna order this weekend, and then never ordered. And then I'm like, okay, you missed that deadline for the challenge group. Did you want to do it? I know I do, but she's so much money, and I don't want to spend much money. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing another challenge group. And she did like 3 times where she told me she's gonna order it, she didn't. And I was persistent. And I kept telling her, okay, I'm gonna do next week. Do you want me to let me know when I do next week? Like that. And then she was a discount coach. So like 7 months before yeah, you need to go. You would be amazing at this. You're so good. No, 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 no. And finally she's like, okay, I need to do this. So just like know that people will tell you no, happens to you, and people tell me they're in order they don't. So you just have to talk to more people. Okay. So messaging friends. But with that, I see a lot of coaches on my team and I call them out for this. If you are messaging people and you're commenting and liking on their stuff, and if I go to your Facebook page and I cannot tell it is a post, you're doing this challenge group, why would I ever message you about it? You think I can use your mind? You need to just like make it obvious. You don't have to be annoying about it, but you need to look back to your last 5 to 10 posts and you haven't talked about this challenge group, haven't talked about this business, then you're giving me no call to action. Call to action in my opinion is stand in the group. I'm signing up as a two-year coach basically. I'm going to train you on how to do this business. You need to talk about it. So, good content. I'll talk about that later. But in my opinion, there's 3 things for good content. So write this down. 3 things for good content. The first thing is where you're giving people good information. You're adding value to their life. Okay. So when I feel you're doing blog posts, just look for anything on social media, personal page, blog posts. Instagram, anything. You need to give people a reason to follow you because you're adding value to their life. You're giving out free tips, you're giving out recipes, you're giving them out advice on how to overcome some problems. And I remember someone pointing out, like, it doesn't have to be about fitness. So, like, if you're a really good gardener and you found a really good weed killer, share that on Facebook. I remember when I first started, I was like, okay, what do I know? How can I add value? And I remember when I first started out as a coach, and I found this like from a mom. I found this like really good dishwasher thing, and we don't have the money for a hard water softener. So I was always getting a lot of hard water stains on my dishes. I found this stuff that like got rid of that. I posted on Facebook, and so many people were like, "Oh, thank you. I struggle with the same thing." That's adding value. Okay, so it doesn't have to be about this, but you're adding value. The second part to good content is talking about you. Telling us how to share your story. So people need to connect with you. There's so many people in this business, right? There's so many people who have the same things to offer that you do. A lot of people offer me fitness challenges. A lot of people offering the same business opportunity. So why are people going to choose you? Thought about that. Okay? People are going to choose you because they connect to you. They connect to your story. All right? So, you have to share your story. You do have to be vulnerable. We'll talk about that later. You have to be vulnerable, you have to be authentic. But, you have to talk about it. Now, that doesn't mean you have to unload everything all at once. It's kind of like onion. Peel back layers. Like, you talk about this, and you talk about that. And share your story. I also don't think you need to be like a downer. So, like, maybe I don't feel you need to do that. But, I think it's sharing how you overcome obstacles shows people how they can relate to you and how they can get to where you're at. Okay? So those are the second part of good content. You give me invaluable information. Now they're connecting with you. You're pulling them in, connecting with you in your journey, and then you can call it action. Now you're telling them what to do. You're joining your fitness challenge groups. You're joining your business. Never tell them to join your business they won't. They'll be like, oh, I just think you're my best friend, and they'll follow your page, and then no. It never translates into customers. It never translates into customers. Okay, so that's what I mean by good content. Planned posts. Really quick. So kind of walking you through how I started. So when I first started as a coach, this was all I was focusing on. Planned posts. I was busy mom. I was late. My kids was crazy. My husband was sick this morning, so it's like, and last year when I started, I don't know, April, but my husband was working 2 jobs. He was gone from 6 a.m. to like 10, 11 p.m. All day on Saturday. Because I have 3 kids. My youngest was 10 months old when I first started. So, how did I build this business? How did I do this during the day? Well, what do? Okay, one, put your kids to bed at 8 o'clock, all right? It gives you a couple hours and put them down for nap time. When the baby goes down for nap time, that can be the one time you know your kids go play your kids for okay, so you have some time during the day, you have some time at night. And what I did during that time was follow a 10-daily list that Scottie is going to talk about with you guys. So I was being efficient, and I even put timer on my phone. I knew that I wanted to interact with people and comment, so for me that was on my 10-daily list. And I gave myself 10 minutes, and I put it on my timer on my phone. I said 10 minutes, whatever I can do. And that helps me be efficient, get in and get done and get out. Because it's really easy when you're scrolling Facebook to get lost in someone's picture from Hawaii and go, that's business time, it's not business time. To scroll through someone's business photos of their wedding last summer. So 10 minutes, scrolling anyway. My point is that I also allotted a certain amount of time to either write my post for the next day. So I couldn't be at the computer all day long as a mom. I was on computer with it. So I set out 30 minutes at night where I would write out all my posts for the next day. And I literally would write them out. I would have the photos and everything. Now you have smartphones. You don't get a loan, invest in one because this is a business. You need a smartphone at this point. And I would email myself the photos and my post. And I email it to myself. This is before I had that. And I would put timers on my phone. So 10 o'clock in the morning, I have a chart with my kids. My timer goes off. Oh yeah, that's post number 1. Open my email, copy and paste. I'll show you guys how to do that. Copy and paste. Upload that photo right from my phone. Had it done. But I was still at least being consistent in time of day as opposed to. And plan posts. Now plan posts also be strategic. So this is where you're coming up with your good content. Just post a post. So add value, share your story, and then call to action. So with this, I think especially when you first start, 1 in 3 posts must be 5 seconds. So you want to share your story with every single post part of your Facebook page or whatever. Super know you're making a blog. So 1 in 3 is a good idea. I think this post today is a good idea. And maybe the other one can be like family. You showing you're a real person, making you relate to you. One of them adding value is tip, which even if it's like a funny post, something you feel gets shared a lot. And that's what I'm going to network. Okay? I'm going to try and go a lot faster. Okay, so that's how I started. Okay, that's how I only did Facebook for the first 6 months of the post. Had to dive in and I was making about $1,000 a month. Well, actually, probably about $1,600 a year. That's when I was able to bring my husband home from just from Facebook. Okay? So that will get you started. That will get you momentum going and get to go on the business. Okay? At that point, yes, there's going to get a point when you probably message all of your Facebook friends. Don't assume that though. Go through everything on your Facebook list. You should just message them to your list. And there's only so many people who are using friends, right? So then you start kind of wondering how you're going to do it. Now I know a lot of people have about Facebook groups too. And joining Facebook groups and meeting people that way. Lindsay and I talked about that, and we learned about that unfortunately. Firstly, I didn't do that. But sharing my journey. Okay, then I started doing Instagram. Now, nobody that I knew was doing Instagram. So I had to learn this long way, and I'm going to share with you my tips and my advice and how to still continue to take notes. I'm going to pretend that you guys don't know anything about Instagram when you're going to kind of start how it works. So you have an account. Instagram is photos. There's no messaging. Strictly photos. When you open it up, it's like this. Now I want to point out a couple of things. I have multiple layers of information for them to contact me. I go to several Beachbody coaches' pages. They do not have their email. They do not have a link to their Facebook page. How are people going to contact you? Okay? There's an app as well called Kit, K-I-K, and you can download that as well. The reason I took that down is because I didn't see a lot of progress on Facebook. So first time I took it down. Maybe if you say, just don't, this is weird, but if you use the hashtag pick me, you're probably going to get people who think that's like a dating service invitation. So just in Instagram world, that's something I learned. So I take that down. But if you do pick, and then I've heard some people try to say business only or biz only, then they realize you're not asking them for a date. So, but you need to give them an opportunity. Now, there's a lot of people on Instagram who don't have Facebook. So I feel really important. Okay? Because they can. I do have coaches. A coach who found me on Instagram who did not have Facebook account. She can use one. Okay? And I also have calendars who created a Facebook account. So just tell them it's not a big deal because you can still help them. Now, so it's just photos like this, whatever, showing you. Now with Instagram, if you come here, so this is where you see your profile. You're clicking on that button. If you click on this button, this is where you see the popular hashtags. If you don't know about any popular photos, to get on the popular page, you have to have a certain percentage of your followers hit like within the first of your photos. So, you guys know Shiva? I don't know how to say that. I remember last summer when I was a coach, first started as a coach. Nobody knew who she was. And I started doing Instagram. I was getting a lot of success. I was getting a lot of coaches and customers and challengers from Instagram. And I'm like, hey, Bonzo Dynasty, you guys need to get on Instagram. Okay, we're reaching out on the great opportunities. And Shiva goes, yeah, I just started Instagram too. So really good. And then like she commented, like, I remember this so clearly the next day. She's like, oh my gosh, I just got on the popular page on Instagram. And they're like, what? And that's what started her career on Instagram. It was a picture of a waterfall. So I remember being like, how'd you on this? I went back to her account. It's a picture of a waterfall. Okay? But she got so many people liking it and it got on popular page. So get on popular page is great. So just be realistic. If you see someone who's kind of thousands and thousands of followers, it's probably good to get on popular page. So with that, I'm pointing that out because I see people who use a service like emails. I'm going to talk about that later. Or they'll buy followers. And I'm going to tell you that the number doesn't really matter. If you have 1,000 people following you and they're engaging in your post, you have a greater likelihood of getting on public page. Make sense? So don't buy followers at everything that you're doing. But that's what a popular page is, just so you know what it is. Now, as soon as you type in this button, then this page pops up. So you see users, you can type in users. These are some of my coaches and people that I follow or challengers that I'm trying to get. And you can go to their account. Now you can also search by hashtag. So part of Instagram is you can't, I see people use hashtags and they just expect everyone to come to them. The same thing is Facebook. You want to have people join the community, show them. Okay, so go to people's hashtags and like their photos. When I started building my business on Instagram, I would go to one of those hashtags. So let's say yummy. Now you have two options. You go to the little grid, and it's like this. If you click that one, it goes down like this. What I would do is I have my phone and I go, and I love Instagram when I started. It's like a CBS phone, but I could sit there and watch cartoons with videos and right? And I'd scroll. And I'd like, okay, so it was one after another. I'd scroll, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap. Now, I'll be honest, if it was a thing like yummy, I love yummy and I love hashtags like that, and I could comment, that looks really good, smiley face. And I copy and paste it, so I select the text, copy, and then I paste that same thing on every single comment. Okay? Another thing that I did was like insanity hashtag. If I went to insanity, now there's a lot of t-shirts where you can use the hashtag insanity, but if I get or I didn't, whatever, but if someone just had insanity and use one other hashtag, you try to go to use a lot of hashtags. So sometimes you didn't even really have to scroll over to their account to see or to try to search to tell they had 30 hashtags in every comment. So it was like insanity, just started my insanity workout. I have insanity and workout hashtag. I went to their account and I liked the last 5 to 10 of their photos. Now, Instagram is completely different than Facebook. someone came to your account on Facebook, they didn't know you, and they liked the last 5% of your photos, you would think they were free. You would block them, and you'd be like, you're crazy, I don't want anything to do with it. On Instagram, people love you for doing that. They give you a shout out. They're like, you're my new best friend. You like my photos. People love that. So, liking people's photos, I had so many people who shout out for me because I liked their last photos. And I did that, so it worked. Okay? And I'd comment on a few in there. So, some of you guys know my coach, Karen Walker. That's how I found her. CNADX hashtag. They're like starting out on CNADX. CNADX is like one other hashtag for the girls not in college. So I'm breaking off. And then I'm like, oh, you have a little baby. That's so cool. Starting a relationship. Now, do not spam. I see a lot of coaches on Instagram, and they get me. It's annoying. Sometimes I call them out, and I'm like, thanks for taking 2 seconds to get to know me on the coach. But don't spam. Don't do a whole copy paste message of, hey, it looks like you just started. I'm doing this challenge with add me on Facebook if you'd like to join. Hey, take the time to get to know people. Instagram is not a quick fix. Instagram is an opportunity for you to build a relationship with your family network, just like Facebook does. Okay? You are building relationships this entire time. So Karen, I built a relationship with them through just commenting here and there. And it wasn't like the day that I met her, I invited her over to Facebook. It was like we talked back and forth. So what I often did was I take a screenshot of the accounts that I was following. You can create an album on your phone, and I had an album. I have an album with people screenshot accounts so that I can check their following. Okay. So I did that, and then she asked me, oh, I think you did Candy, I think you did amazing. And then I did a post one time. So it's the same thing on Instagram, where you're adding value, you're sharing your story, and you do call to action posts as well on Instagram. So I did a call to action post on Instagram last winter, and I said, I'm sharing my story about how I was able to bring my husband home from his second job, and I was able to pay our mortgage with 1 week of payment, and I was sharing it and relating, making it relatable to people. And she sent me a message. She's like, okay, I want to get you a post. I want to. So she sent me an email because I had my email contact information there, and that's how I found Karen. Okay. All right. Now, just really quick, some of my favorite apps. You guys like my screensaver? I'm trying to get apps, so that's my motivation. Some of my favorite apps here. Emoji Brush gives you those little cute things like this. If you don't have that on your phone, just go ahead and get it. I hear a lot of people who are like, oh, I can't take pictures of myself working out because I have to work. Yeah, me too. So timer cam is that camera. You can even pop it up. Okay, it'll look through camera, have a reverse, timer cam or fast camera. Fast camera takes it so you have to like kind of select, but these are some of my favorite apps. Square Ready. Everything in Instagram has to be square, right? So if you have a photo that's like elongated, you can square it and it like makes it square. Pick Frame, I'm sure you guys know. Be Funky and Line Camera are just editing the photo stuff. I like Line Camera because I'm trying to like do a circle around a post or something like that, or cross off someone's name. I like sharing challenge testimonials. So I'll do a snapshot of someone's post in a group. Like, oh, this is what you can expect from the challenge groups, right? That's powerful. Kind of cross off the person's name, and I do that through Line Camera. Line Camera? That's this one. You can do a stamp. So there's like a star, or a smiley face, or a person. If you guys have ever seen the little icons where it's like a bunny rabbit, and you can like where like different faces, and it has like a bunny rabbit and a person. That's from Line Camera. So how big is it? Oh, I throw it up all the time. I have to constantly my photos. Yeah. Rona Desires is my favorite. No, not free. That's what I use like everything. I feel like it has a lot of options. You can do a lot of things with that. So that was like $3.99 fully worth it. Instafont is great. I didn't feel like it was as user friendly, but I still like some of the pictures. A+ Signature is one I learned about from Color. And that one is amazing because because you can save in a catalog what you wrote out. So you know how Janelle Summers always has a little sc.com Janelle Summers, and she puts the contact information at the bottom. She's doing that from ASOS Signature because you can save it and then you just say this is the one I want, and you don't have to write it out every time. Does that make sense? So it saves time. And it has a ton of different things. There's a free one and a paid one. Paid one is the one you want to get the catalog. Okay. Pick, play, post is how everyone's doing the collages with the videos. So Melissa McAllister is amazing on Instagram. If you guys are not following her, hello inspiration. Incredible. So many doctors are thinking they're doing to pick, play, post. But I love Melissa McAllister's Instagram because she does like she's taking her photos. She goes, hey, for today's exercise, you need to do this and this and this. And you have 15 seconds of it. Do videos on it. And then the other half of the screen is her doing the exercise. It's phenomenal. So go follow her and you can see what Pick, Play, Post does. Okay. Now I just want to, this one, Pick, Play, Post. It's $1.99. Now this one, I just wanted to show you guys. You all have a free app. So I have an iPhone. You have Android. Just do your research. Okay? No one told me about this in my research. Okay. Now on Notes app, one thing is if you hold down your finger, it will give you a pop-up listing where you can select all, copy, and paste. I don't know if you guys do that, but it's awesome. Now, one thing I always do is I write, and this doesn't even match up, I thought it did. But I write out all my posts on my Notes app. Because it is kind of like really hard to just spelling it, like put in like pieces and everything like that. So that's just a real quick tip is to write it from here and copy and paste. Okay? And then you can write it up there. Oh, and then a few other tips on Instagram. Hopefully I have it on. No, I don't. I don't know. You want to post tips about Instagram. All of your hashtags. Okay, there's some hashtags that are blacklisted. Okay? My coach back here is so funny. Carrie, I love Carrie. You guys will love Carrie if you ever get to know him. Carrie's brand is strong and sexy. I love that. Because of that, she was using the hashtag sexy on Instagram. That makes all of your posts blacklisted. People will not see that because Instagram's trying to fight it. So anything that could be related to like images that you should not be seeing, if you use a hashtag related to that, then none of the hashtags work. People don't see that photo, right? Once the purpose is kind of clear. So Carrie's like, why isn't anything like on my Instagram? I don't understand. I'm like, now so I'm like, oh wait, sexy. Okay, stop using the hashtag. But with your hashtags, you can have 30 max for posts, you know. And remember, you know, 40. And then why do you post this? Because you have 30. And then the other thing is, use it in your comments, okay? Because then when other people comment, you don't see it. So then they don't see 30 hashtags because you wrote it out in the description. It still works in your comments. The other cool thing about comments, and I see people like doing this over and doing it all the time. You put the hashtags in there, and they delete it. So I don't know how to go back. So you have the comment, like if you're looking at your phone, and you have all of the comments, and let me open this up here so I can show you. Yeah. Okay. So I just want to show you guys with these comments. If you go to make a comment yourself, so I click on comment, and then I take this one above and I slide it to the side. Do you guys see how it moves over and there's a place to the trash can? Trash can your own comments with the hashtag and repost it. So this is where also putting your hashtags that you use most commonly in a note app is very beneficial for you, so you don't have to write them out every single time. You typically use the same hashtags every single time, right? Put them in a note app and copy and paste. Now with that, when you do it again in the comment 2 hours later, it pops that back up again in the timeline of stuff. Does that make sense? Because when people do, like I was showing you, and you click on Yummy and it does first one, second one, third one, like that. If you, that's based on the last time you used that hashtag. like people like Amy Silverman do intentional. They'll do those hashtags in their comments, and then they'll do it again 2 days later. And if you get close, they'll do it again a day later, and I'm like, you keep thinking, that's what all you guys can do as well. Okay? All right. I don't know what it is now. Sorry. Sorry, and I'm gonna go fast here. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys a few other websites that you guys can use when you're doing this. Statigram, Webstagram are both sites that you can use to see Instagram on YouTube. Now the benefits of it, Scottie, so it's STATIGRAM.com. And then this one over here doesn't really show up, but this is Webstagram. So it's WEBSTRAGRAM. Socially, just Google it. No, Webstagram and this are awesome because if you want to know like the most popular hashtags, and they always change. So like right now, like I remember when Fit Girl was really good, and I always use that hashtag. Or Instagram is good right now. IG Daily, Pick of the Day, Photo of the Day. You want to use like the popular hashtags, and you're going to find out what those are from here. Now this will also do statistics on your account and tell you when the most popular times are for you to be posting, when your followers are interacting the most, which is different for everybody. So go ahead and check that out to know if you're posting about the challenge group, you want to post at a time when you're going to get the most interaction, right? So you want to check and do that when it's beneficial for you. Now if you have a website, a blog, whatever, I have a blog, I don't build my business in my blog. My blog is not a good example of how to build a business, but I have a little follow me button on my blog, and I got that from Webstagram. So if you guys have a blog, you can add that from there. Now BlueStack, this is a website I learned about from another coach who had an Android, and she does not. Maybe Instagram's on right now. This is the last one, but it does now. Oh, it does now. Okay. You don't have to worry about it. If you for some reason don't have a smartphone, you still want to do Instagram, you can do BlueStack and create a private photo album on your Facebook account so that only you can see it, and then you upload them through BlueStack and we'll post it on Instagram. So if you don't have a smartphone, for some reason you cannot invest it at this time, you have no excuse to not use Instagram. You can use this photos to use BlueStack. And you can like photos also as well as Scottie. So if you're ever mindlessly listening to something, you can like click on it and do it. Okay. I just want to point out something with you after this. When I went to the Smart Success seminar last spring with Shirley Johnson, she told us about Elance. Elance is awesome. So a lot of my coaches about it. If you're not using Elance, you need to. I know Scottie uses it as well. Elance. It's a website where you get a bunch of freelancers on there and you can post a job, and they will submit a bid saying, okay, I will do that job for X amount of money. Now, how does this help you with social media? How does this help you with how you have? This is what Shirley Johnson does. Now, you guys all see Shirley Johnson's photos. She's working out, and there's all these, like, you know, the pick play and all these too, and they're all like, you know, about these great apps and you know, wording and everything like that, and it filters great, and you're thinking, I do not have time to put together a photo. Like, how many of you guys have sat there editing a photo for Instagram for 30 minutes to yourself? Please tell me I'm not the only one who has done right? And you're like, okay, this is a total waste of time doing this. Shalene Johnson recognized that, and she was like, you know what, I've got this idea. So, have one day a week to your photo day. Have your husband take photos of you working out. Totally stage it. Doesn't matter. You still should be working anyway. So you're gonna stage it. Take your pose. Do another pose. Take your pose again. Put your hair in a side ponytail. Do another photo. Whatever. Okay. So now you have 20 photos to use. Get on Elance and post a job saying, hey, I want to edit these photos. I want to put it in squares so I can use them on Instagram. Make them look all cute. Put my name on my website on the bottom. That is what Shirley Johnson does. She does not edit her own photos. And it's not because she's a millionaire, knowing that she has the money enough money to do this. You guys are all keeping track of your hours worked, how much money you're making if you're looking to actually recognize your box. So you need to know how much money you're making per hour or things like this. You know, maybe for other reasons too. But to make it in that, because I remember I was like, okay, I'm making $15. Because I'm working 15 hours, this is how much money I'm getting paid. I can pay somebody $5 to edit 20 photos. Right? This will take me how long to edit those 20 photos? This will take me quite a few hours. Pretty sure it. So look at how much you're worth, how much money you're making, and then decide how long is this going to take you. Because if you can pay someone for less than what you're making, you are charging yourself that much money. You get what I'm saying? So like I put together this nutrition guide for my team. That was taking me hours to put together. And this is like challenge workbook as well. And that was hours to the graphics and everything together. I could someone asking a couple $100. Yeah, it was a couple $100, but it was taking me like a whole day. And I made more money by working that day than I did that day. Anyway, so use that on Instagram. You create all your photos to make them all beautiful and Shirley says that she does that on Saturday night. She sends them off. She's like 20 photos off. She gets them back the next day. She's like, it's cost me like a quarter of a when you look down at the breakdown. Is it time 30 minutes worth of recording? Yes, it is. Okay? So you can afford to do this. Elance is also great. Scottie had a transformation photo video. How many of you guys have transformation photos? You don't put together a YouTube video yet. Yes, done. I do too. Elance, you don't have to tell her you're going to have someone make a video for you. These guys paid $100. They did it overnight. He was sleeping. I'm sure he was grateful to be sleeping instead of spending hours making a video. He was like, yes, I was $300. Okay? So Elance is awesome, but you can use that. I have some coaches on my team who use Elance to like photos for them. So here's another thing. I literally work from 9 to 3. Do not have time to get on and like photos. You can pay someone to like photos for you. I did that as well for a while. Now I brought my husband home and he did it for me. But you can pay someone on Elance to like photos for you. Okay? I did that and it's fun. There's someone in, I don't know, Nigeria. And she did a good job. So there are people from international and they're going to do a good job. Okay? So that's Elance. How are you guys feeling? Are you guys learning a lot? Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll sorry to it. You guys are taking notes though, right? Yes. You guys are awake, right? Yes. Okay. I want to know you guys are live. Okay. Another thing you can use to build your business, and this is like Scottie's specialty right now. You guys ever look at his page and his page like, how the heck is he adding 20 coaches a month? How many of you guys have thought that, right? Yeah, me too. So, Scottie is doing so good on YouTube. How many of you guys have seen some Scottie's training videos? Yeah? Okay. I know that there's a lot of coaches who make training videos, but they make them private. So I want to tell you that if you put anything on YouTube, as much as possible, I do still have a few that are private because anyway, but as much as possible, go ahead and put stuff out. If you are a coach and you have at least one coach underneath you, you need to be making videos so that you are training your team. Just because Scottie has videos does not mean you can rely on his videos because you need to build your business. Your coaches want to hear from you. They want to see your face. They sign up with you, they do not sign up with Scottie. Right? Okay? So I see a lot of coaches in this network and in this neighborhood who say, well, Scottie's already done the work for me, I don't need to do it. And I'm telling you, you will never have what Scottie has if you have that mentality. You need to do it yourself. Okay? Maybe that's a bad piece of advice, that's how it goes. So you put in the effort because your coaches want to hear from you. And if you have one coach underneath you, you are a leader, you need to act it. You need to be and give them the information and be responsible for giving your team the information and not rely on your upline to get them because you are a leader. Now, leaders create videos. If you find yourself saying something twice, it's a good time to make a video about it, right? If you ever have to repeat yourself, fine. Now, I had this conversation with some of my success partners in Beachbody, and they are like, oh yeah, I'm making videos. I have to edit it, and I have to do this, and I have to make these special effects. And oh my gosh, I remember when I first saw Lizzie Bentley's videos, and I was so floored. I was like, whoa, there's like this music playing this intro, and I'm like, I don't look like her, and how am I gonna like, oh boy, there's like really put myself in a head case there. So like I could never do that. I think one of the great things about Scottie is he does things that you realize I don't even want to do that. He doesn't make it. He doesn't look at heart. He's like, you see him at play, move back against what it is. Then, is it effective? Yes. Does it get the job done? Yes. That's something anybody can do. Yeah. You do not have to have editing software to get ready to put a YouTube video on. And if you're a guy, you don't even have to put a shirt on. Okay? So, saying that, with this, I'll tell you that Scottie talked to me about this, and he's like, the great benefit of these YouTube videos is I put this up there, and I'm going to see more, and I'll put on the channel, but he put these videos up there, and he has, you realize there's so many people who are looking to be a coach. So many people. And they look on Google, so they look at my blogs, like no one knows them, and they look on YouTube, and they find people like that. Because they're looking to be a coach. So many people have used these programs, they've had transformations, they're already thinking about being a coach. They're just trying to find someone that they know is going to help them in this business. So what happens is people get on YouTube and they find Scottie's videos and they're like, ooh, that guy's going to help me. And they're thinking about it, so they watch all these videos, and then they sign up, and they're already trained, they already know what to do, and they're like Candace Fletcher. You guys ever seen her on Facebook? She was amazing. She found Scottie on YouTube. She found Scottie on YouTube. She watched all her videos, all the videos, she learned how to transform. She's getting really good, high quality coaches who are trained and know what they're doing. If you're putting yourself out that way, you don't even have to necessarily. With that, I had a girl contact me. I don't have as many freaking videos as Scottie, and here's my excuse. I don't get ready. So like for me, like put makeup on and just not be wearing yoga pants and is like big deal. So but I have these videos and I have them out there. And it's funny, I had this girl was contacting me just barely, and it was interesting to hear. I always ask people how you do that. And it's really interesting. She said this through YouTube. She was looking for something she could do from home, and she looked at at home businesses, and she found Steve Dwyer. Now she started following Steve Dwyer's YouTube account, and she looked and she noticed that Steve Dwyer hadn't posted a training video in the last 5 months. So her opinion of Steve Dwyer was this girl's not actively building the business. She's not actively doing something that's going to help me. But she went and she kept looking and she found me. So somehow this girl became a Christine Dwyer. Little did she know that Christine Dwyer was like this amazing coach. And I'm sure Christine Dwyer put out videos that would probably public, private, or just focus on webinars. So my point is you do need to have, if you're looking to be a leader and you're like, okay, I'm diamond, how do I get started diamond? How do I talk, strong business builders? I think this is a great fit to really put this one out there and start getting attraction that way. Because I am seeing a lot of coaches coming in for me that have opportunities and also even challenges. So I've been asking, yeah, just even this last month, 3 coaches, high quality coaches that I was in the last month that I know that I have all found me. Okay, so it's okay. Scottie, what can you add on YouTube? Because you are the king. I know this is where you are focusing.
This is one thing I added onto her slides last night when I saw that she put that on there. I was seeing all these results from. I'll let you have this back in a minute. I was seeing all these results from YouTube, like people coming to me. So I started messing with YouTube more, just looking at it, and I found because all I'd ever been at was the home tab, and I found a videos discussion about. I didn't know anything about this stuff. I just started clicking on stuff. I found right here that you can, when you're logged in, you'll be able to, there's like an edit button right here. You can put links on this about part. You can write a little message. And like these links right here, you just create a link. You can name it what you want and put the link to where you want it to go. So like this goes to my www.scottiehobbs.com. This right here, make me your free coach, goes to the join tab of my beachbodycoach.com/Scottie Hobbs. So if they click that, it'll go right to my sign up page to make me their free coach. And then this is my email. And when you put in your email, it just gives it this little symbol. I don't have to do that. Like I put in the link to my free coach right here, and it put that Beachbody logo there already. I put a link to our team call recordings. Once again, Brigitte talking about just putting info out. I believe not having a scarcity mentality, share with everybody, and you'll get back in return. So I put a link to my blog where the recordings of our team calls are. This order Beachbody products, that just goes to the shop tab on my beachbodycoach.com or Scottie Hobbs. That goes to the shop tab. Become a coach goes to the coach little box on the Beachbody Coach page. And then join Beachbody Challenge goes to the Team Beachbody Challenge landing page with my referring ID, which you can get in your coach online office. So that's a good information. You can put a little message for people to land on your videos, and then there's links that they could take an action to go make you a free coach or become a coach.
Good information. You guys are learning a lot, right? See how you can expand your network? Isn't that exciting? Because you know that you can do this. Hey, do we want to?
I'll keep going.
Okay, I'm going to try to go really fast with this. I did do a team webinar about this, and how many of you guys listened to that webinar already? There are a lot of people who listen to repeat information course. Okay, about half. How to build your business your life page. It was a team call webinar that I did. Did you listen to that? For about half of you guys. Okay, I'll go through kind of keeping this short, and then you guys can, if you want more information on this, let me know. Group page. Okay, so I am a person who kind of gets busy. So I did Facebook, and I'm like, okay, I kind of felt like I was well done. Which wasn't true because I continue to find people through there. But I did Instagram. I'll be honest, I kind of got sick of my phone. I kind of got sick of my voice. This is annoying. So I'm like, okay, I want to try something new. And so I thought of how I saw people like Summers doing a live page, and I saw a lot of people in the time as adventures. Once again, I didn't have really people in our network that were doing it. So I was just kind of researching, okay, what do I need to do to go through this? What do I do? And I just want to give you guys a couple tips that I learned through my research on live page. Okay, because I started this page in February, and as you can see, I took a snapshot last night. It's over 12,000 likes. So, whoa, what did I just do? That's cool. Wrong way. Oh, that's nice. So my live page has really grown, which is exciting. People are like, sure, I'm but 2,000 Beachbody coaches, but still, like I have never known 2,000 people in my life. So it's definitely expanding my network. People like Harry even. Oh, one thing really quick I wanted to go back over. Okay, go back to Facebook. One thing you should do also to expand your network on Facebook is anytime you get a fitness challenger, always ask them for a referral. I know so many people do not ask for referrals who are missing out. I try to turn every single one customer into 3. That's my goal. Okay. Now, what happened with that? I had a girl who found me on my live page. Her name is Callie, and she wanted to do a and I said, "Great, who do you know to join me?" A lot of people have greater success if they get their friends to do it with them. So, who do you know that would like to join the fitness challenge? And she said, "Well, my neighbor." Your neighbor, Scottie. And I said, "Okay, great. Well, why don't you sign up as a coach, and we'll put her underneath you." And she's like, "No, I don't want to be a coach. You take them." So this girl referred like, all 3 of her friends signed up, and they all ordered. So it's awesome. Because of one simple question I asked, who do you know that would like to do this with you? So I want you to get the best results possible. You can get better results if you have network of friends doing this. Okay? So ask for referrals. 1 to 3. For everyone is 3 people. Now, Harry, then it turned out, was like, oh, okay, well, I want to be the group. I want to build a business. So now I've got this rocking emerald. She's totally going to be a diamond coach. She's amazing. And she's a referral. She's so great. She's become one of my really good friends. So I'm asking for referrals. With that, another way that you want to build your business with Facebook is to create an event for your fitness challenge group. 10-day cleaning challenge. Are you guys doing that? Like, write this down. This is good information. You guys are gonna wonder someday. I don't know anyone to talk to. Okay, let's get you to write down my notes. Okay, create an event page for all of your fitness challenges. And the benefit of this is that when you get people who say yes, they are going, it shows up in their news. Now their entire network is included in your news. Now if you make a good catchy title of the event, if you're doing a cleaning challenge, big capital words, free, 10-day cleaning challenge, free, you know, I was really like, what is that? Those free 10-day cleaning challenges I learned about at Summit, that was huge for my business. So that's awesome. Are you guys doing that? So good. I know Breezy's had a lot of success with that as well. Amy, sitting back here, going to join one of my cleaning challenge groups. And there's a lot of people. So one of my other coaches in this area, she's in North Dakota this weekend, but Lois Ellen, is one who a friend, she saw her friend click to join a free cleaning challenge with them. She's like, well, what's that? I want to do that. So she clicked to join too. And I'm like, this girl I don't know. You know, I don't know who she is. Send her friend request. Hey, I thought you clicked to join a cleaning challenge group. You already have a Beachbody account. No, what is it? But here's your link. Go ahead and sign up and I'll add you to the group. Sign up, and then I send her a message. Great, I thought you signed up. I'm excited how you do this group. You mind telling me what your goals are? So I can just help you do it. Tell me what your goals are. I'm like, awesome. I definitely think that this will help you. Have you ever heard about Shakeology? That's one of the businesses as well. Have you heard about it? No, what is this? I'm sorry about it. She got packets from me. But her friend, who had clicked to join the group that she saw it from, was actually someone who saw from another friend. So that was like 3 times people we knew. So like this one girl, I can't remember her name anymore. She clicked to join the thing she found it on my web page. And then her friend saw it, so she joined, and then her friend saw it and liked it. Okay? All of these people didn't want to do Shakeology. Lois did. Lois loved it. Lois met me in the parking lot to get more and more and more. She didn't order it back. She wanted more packets. And then finally I'm like, yes, that. And then she did a challenge group. 3 weeks into the challenge group, I'm like, you are doing amazing. You're so inspiring. You help me so many people. I want you on my team. You belong on my team. Have you ever thought about being coach? Okay? So that's how you move people along. That's the line that's just correct. Okay? So that's something everyone can do. But those event pages are awesome. I know all of my coaches, like mini rows that was her fitness challenges as well. And it just helps because, I mean, how many times you said that I can't annoy this person and remind them to order any more times I'm going to do. How many of you guys have done with that? Okay, what you can do though is you post in that event page and they get a pop-up in that. Not only that, but your entire newsfeed does as well. It's open. It's open event. You're not making it private. So it's showing up in the newsfeed and you've seen, look, there's another transformation. You can post that day. You can post in there as much as you want. It's not like you're going to on the newsfeed, right? It's not on your wall. So you can post in there multiple transformations. So when I do an event page, I share my testimonials from my previous group. You guys are not taking screenshots of the testimonials. When people say that they like the group, they're losing weight, take a screenshot. Okay, that's your information. Put a folder on your computer with that information. Transformation bubble. I'm leaving. So in videos, I love sharing Richard Neal's Tennessee videos. You know, my fitness challenge, like in the pre-season and then the med phase, I'm like, I'm so excited to get started next week because I'm seeing this video. I just wanted to share with you one of these results or one of these challenges. So you're sharing results and you're getting them excited, and then they comment on it. If they comment on that thing, it pops up in their to all of their networks. Does that make sense? So there's kind of a way for you to expand and grow people. So that's another way that I really set it up through Facebook, is by creating new events for my group and by asking for referrals. All right, like pages. I want to give you guys tips to get started. Now, go ahead and write these down. I know so many coaches. I have so many coaches wait 3 months because they didn't know what name to give it. They didn't know what name to call their page. Just start. I'm going to be honest, I see a lot of people actually on my team, and I've thought about this. I need to tell my coaches this specifically. I see a lot of people think they have to have a brand and they have to have it be fit. You can use your name. The reason why I did not, the reason why I chose not to is because my name is used. Because people can't spell my name. People look at my name on Facebook and it's right there and they spell it completely different. And I don't understand, which is fine, but I just knew that if I told people to go find me on Facebook and I spelled it out for them and they typed it in, there would be a disconnect there. I would lose a lot of people. So I told people from my Instagram account, go find me on Facebook. My name is Brigitte Limbert. I would lose a lot of people. So if your name is Scottie Hobbs, it's probably not going to be a problem. So that it's easy to remember, it's easy to spell. So that is why I made that choice. Now you can use that, you can do a fitness, obviously that made it work, but don't feel you have to. Just create a name, and it can be your name. So Mini Leonard is Mini Leonard. Don't have to so don't have to use your brand, you don't need to have that. Now, one thing I feel is to make sure and use a profile photo of you on your like page. People connect to people. People don't connect to brands. People don't connect to quotes. So I see some pages and they do like the profile photo is their brand. And I'm like, no. People want to know who you are. People want to know who they're talking to. They want to connect with you. So you want to put your profile photo there. And then along with that, you want to be strategic with the profile photo that you use. Because if you choose to do ads, and I'll talk about that later, it will be your profile photo on there. So before and after photos, we'll get to my I got away with doing an arm photo. So you guys like have an arm before and after photo or a leg before and after. I mean, but or your face looks different. That's a good transformation because you can use your profile, and that will work. That will get approved by the ads, but full body shot. Even if you're wearing the photo, not good. So I want you to think about though your brand, like what makes you different. So this is something I also learned from Shalene, that if you guys think about, write down on the paper, what makes you the same as everybody else? How are you the same from everybody that you know? You offer challenges. You're not going to take all. You're not going to take a shot. Maybe everything that's the same. What makes you different? That's typically your story. So for me, I'm hands-on. I'm very religious. I struggle with depression. I have a story. I'm a total source. I'm a music nerd. I play the piano, the viola, and that's how I'm different. Okay, like I'm college dropout. So a lot of my stories losing a piece of it. But that's my story. Okay, that's my brand. If you lead with what makes you different, people will connect with you over something else. So I see a lot of coaches who think this is how we're cut next. Is that right word? But it's not. If someone chooses somebody else, they choose you. It's flat because they just didn't connect with you. Usually, there's nothing so bad about because you want people who connect with you. That's all it is. I have a lot of people who are in my challenge group who got to know me and they chose her. They signed up with her. I'm like, go for it. That's awesome. Okay? There's people in this room that I talk to and they sign up with somebody else and it's totally okay. Because I know that they connect with the person and they're going to succeed better if they work with the person that they connect with. Not totally okay. So don't have the scarcity mentality. Same thing. Wish everyone well. But you can find people who work with you well, and you get to choose who you work with. You want people who like you and work well with you. And you do so by being clear about your brand and identifying who you are and you're being authentic. I already talked about a content plan. That was adding value, talking about your story, and giving you a call to action. Okay. Now, in my opinion, I feel it's important to do 10 posts before you go live. I see a lot of coaches who announce their live page and they say, "You're a live page." When I go there, there's like one photo, and I think you have not given anybody a reason to follow your page. You need to give people a reason to click like. You need to make a connection. So they need to see when they look at the last 10 posts on your page that you are adding value. They need to be able to see your story in the last 10 pages because they connect with your story, and then they need to know what to do next. They need to know, oh, those girl broke challenge rope. Oh, I'm going to sign up. Okay? Those are your three things. You're content hunting. You need to know what to do. And you're doing that in your 10 posts. Now, I constantly am looking at my last 10 posts to see what is the average? Do I have too much beachbody? Am I salesy? How is this working? Am I not putting enough photos of me on there? Whatever. I've heard, and if you guys follow Liz in that way, I'll go and I'll check her page at once a night. Sometimes twice a day. Just to see what she's doing. I do that with the top coaches, right? I do it with Scottie too. Like, okay, what are they doing? How are they posting? What should I do? And I'll see all the time, Liz in that way will post stuff, Liz will hide it at the end of the day. And I know because she's told me she does the same thing. She goes back through her last 10 posts. She decides if she critiques herself. If this succeeds a lot, if somebody comes back and looks at my last 10 posts, just giving them a good reflection of the kind of person that I am. Okay? So if you make a mistake, you can hide it from your timeline. Yay! It's awesome. You can be forgiven if you make a mistake. Sharing your story. Now, giving people a reason to follow you. I see a lot of folks who say, okay, just keep you. Like, this is really going to help you. I'm going to add value to your life in such a way, by following my page. So recognize and be confident and have confidence. Don't ever be just right. And don't stress about the number. It's kind of the same thing. We talked about this. As far as, I guess I'll go back to this. So, stressing out about the number. As I talked about with Instagram, there's ways you can do live streams and stuff like that. We can get followers by going to a group and they say, like, everyone left my thing on like this. Those are like the last. Now, I do feel those are great. I did that at least. I wanted to get to 500 so I wanted to look legit. Right? And so I did do that. Other things, but I don't feel it's important to continue to do that. So I posted in the Beachbody coach book page or Montreal page or community page or whatever. And saying, hey, everybody go on my page. Those people are like coaches and they're not going to be buying products. So if you have 1,000 people, this is going to be like, I have 1,000 friends on my Facebook. That's 1,000 friends. It'd be great. I remember when like I said, I had 200 friends, Facebook friends, and so when I had 300 friends on Instagram, I was like, hallelujah! Like, I've got more people now on Instagram than I do on Facebook. Woo! I'm popular. That's 300 people. So don't stress about the number. Just know that quantity. And then be patient. I see a lot of coaches who have great content, but they're just starting out. Just be consistent. Be consistent and continue to do that. Be patient. It takes a little bit of time. Okay? And same with Instagram, same with Facebook. I remember when I first started Facebook, and I was thrilled if I had 10 people like myself. Thrilled. That was like texting Jason, oh my gosh, look at this. Oh my gosh, 10 people like myself. I'm so excited. But I didn't have anybody. But my point is that it's slow growth, but I always acted as if I had post people were going to message me and stuff. Like, I had to post. I always acted as if I had a huge amount of people waiting on my every word. Like, if I did not post, I was doing it. So I was consistent every single day. Okay? All right, I'm going to go really fast. So I did, wait, going the wrong way. Okay, I already talked about content plan. Where do you find stuff to post by? I know a lot of people worry about that. Other Facebook pages. There's a first one I type in fitness. And that's all of those popular fitness pages, and that's full of stuff in that. Make it my own. I talk about why that connects with me. I don't just copy and paste, but there's a lot of stuff on Facebook that I can do with. Post things that answer questions. So think about what are you struggling with? What do you need help with? What would other people probably be struggling with? This kind of goes with, I do a lot of posts directly towards my coaches, for the challengers. When I see a challenger struggling and I'm like answering them in a response, I tweak it and put it in a box. Or I have a coach who's struggling with confidence. Like, how many of you guys sometimes feel coaches in the fit? right? As leaders, you're there helping your coaches. And everyone's an emotional ball of mess, right? And so many times you're answering 16 problems and trying to help them, turn it into a blog post, okay? My coaches and my team will know that very often I will post something on my life page and I will share it to my team page. And I'm like, this is how it applies to coaching. And I share it in my challenge group. I'm like, this is how it applies to your fitness journey, you guys. So, and a lot of that comes from personal development. Personal development will save your life. We're not doing personal development. I'll tell you right now, you might as well quit because you're not going to last. I'm not saying it's really harsh, but you're wasting your time if you are not reading 10 to 15 minutes a day. You will not make things to coach. You're going to sign up people in this business and you're going to let them know. Okay? So, 10 to 15 minutes a day or quit. Not hard. But personal development is a vital behavior. As in vital as in if you don't do it, it's bad. Vital behavior. That's what that means. Vital. Okay? I personally have seen one of my top coaches in my business right now basically killing her business right now because she was not teaching, she did not take me seriously with personal development. You have to be able to grow. You have to be able to help your coaches. And I'll tell you, there's so many things that I read, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's how I fix your problem. You know, last night I was reading from the Maverick Season Big, and I'm like, I've totally been doing that wrong the whole time. No wonder. And it's not like I couldn't wait for Scottie to tell that to me. He doesn't see me on a daily basis. It's not his responsibility. It's mine. Yeah, that's easy to read your personal development to be able to know how to fix it. You know, so personal development is going to be huge. Personal development, you're going to have aha moments. I have a push for dining group, and I hold them accountable. Okay, you are reading personal development. You're going to share with me your aha moments every single day. Because if you read, you're reading with an intent to learn, right? So you are learning every single day. You're having aha moments. Post about them on Facebook. How cool is that? You're sharing with people. They're going to learn and they're going to want to follow what you have to say because they already forget that they're supposed to be reading 10 to 15 minutes a day. The first 10 to 15 minutes a day is coming from you, right? And then you're going to teach them that when they start your challenges that they should know better and they should read themselves. Pinterest is awesome as well. There's a search button on there and you can get really good content, recipes, really good recipes. Spark people. How many guys know about Spark people? Oh my goodness, I get so much stuff on their website. They're awesome. And go with it. Make it your own. Going the wrong way. I need to do this thing. Sorry. Okay. Now I did. That's with it. Okay. 10 tips to develop your page, and then I'm going to be done. I'm sorry, guys, I've gone over. You guys are learning a lot, right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now being consistent. Just being consistent. With the live page, it's really awesome because you can schedule posts. So I created a video about this. If you don't know how, send me a message and I will tell you how to schedule your post. Basically, you go to write in your post, and there's a little thing at the bottom that's a clock. You click on that clock, and you can schedule your post. So I have one that's going to be posted in 30 minutes. And I'm not there. I'm not at the computer. So I scheduled it to go off at 12 o'clock. Okay? And I have a presence on Facebook, and I'm not there. That's one of the biggest reasons why I chose white stage, so that I didn't have to be present, not moment. Increasing your edge link. Now there's a couple ways to do that. In the next slide, we'll go over that. Being positive. You know, one of the things I've learned in this business is that just because you move up rank and just because you make more money does not mean you are better. And I think a lot of people think that just because Scottie is 7-star diamond and he doesn't come back in. Why do you think that? Because you didn't put Scottie, right? I can tell you, if he has times where he's down, times where he's frustrated, times where he's thinking, man, what am I doing wrong? Okay? Now, we joke about, you know, that you become a Beachbody coach and you never have that anymore, right? That's not what I'm saying. But you're going to post about it, share how you live in it, share how you are, how you're changing things, what you're going to do different. Okay? This world is full of people who need help. And if we are about our frustration. And already we're talking about how we're upset and depressed about something. We are not being grateful. Because we are meant to be happy. We are designed to be happy. And you know what? 2 weeks ago, I felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. Every single day, I felt like crying. I had like 2 coaches, like huge organizations that were now on my so I now had double the workload. I was frustrated. I was overwhelmed. I felt like I can't do this. It just felt like everyone was demanding. I couldn't do this. So what did I do? I took a retreat. We're on a retreat. Okay, okay. Last night, started getting like, I don't know why, just making nervous talking in front of people. And last night I was like, that's other people. So I took a boat class. And I read Magic of Thinking Day for an hour and a half, and I helped myself. Okay? So do what you gotta do. You're religious, you gotta pray, read the scriptures, I take care of you. If you're not gonna be able to help you. To be positive. Now encourage your followers to share. I love this. This is so awesome. You realize if you tell people like, comment, and share their love? It's so awesome. You tell them, share my post on your timeline, and they will. And then it expands to their network because they have 1,000 friends. Now those 1,000 friends come back to you. And this has been the number one way that has built my life. So many people have been like, oh, I saw your post shared on my friend's page. I started following. Now they're a coach on my team. Giveaways are fun because it's another way for you to get your likes and your people following your page into real life stuff. So with my giveaways, I always made every time I put them add me as a friend on Facebook. And it's every single one of them I send them a message. So every single time they send me a message, I'm like, hey, I saw that you entered my giveaway. Good luck. And I'm just trying to get an idea of who my followers are and who are these person. I always ask that question. They are. I'm like, great. So nice to meet you. Love the community. Bye. Right? And then they were. They're like, no, what is that? I'm like, oh, well, just listen on and you just like listen. And they're like, no, but I've been thinking about doing one. I haven't had that answer. So I was a coach last month for my giveaway. I think I was pretty excited about that. Yeah. Because I've been thinking about being a coach, but I didn't, they don't know how to contact me. This is giving them an idea to know what they do. A lot of people have been like, no, but I've been meaning to ask you about the John group. So starting the conversation, sending them a message and being like, really helped me a lot with those giveaways. So that makes a big difference. Encouraging your followers to add you. When I went to the leadership retreat, I had a lot of people that I did a post and I said, hey, I'm going on this retreat, and I put all my photos on my personal page. Go add me. Constantly, I'm finding excuses and telling people, go ahead and go look over there. If they leave any comment on my page, it comes on. Let me put my link there because again, if I tell them to go search for them, they're not going to find. So I encourage my followers to add me. From the leadership retreat, telling people to go add me. I remember that day I looked at it was like 38, 40 followers, something like that, or no, just like that. And some of them were coaches, yes, not gonna lie. But there was 2 coaches that I did sign up from them. Because as soon as someone adds me to sign, I always send them a message. I'm like, hey, thanks for the ad. Are you following me over to my page? Yes, I am. Awesome. Are you doing any study program? No, but I was. And then I got conversation. But I had 2 people who were like, yeah, I saw that you were doing a leadership retreat. What's that about? I'm like, oh, I'm a leadership coach. What are you about? No, what is it? Well, I've got this webinar I did. Or what's this webinar? Send me a message tomorrow and see what you think about it. So that's how I got those 2 coaches too. So that was going to leadership. They were intrigued about it. Now they're on my team. Okay, focus on quality, quantity. I already talked about that. Ads. Are ads worth it? What are ads? Now, one of the benefits I feel about LifeStage is that you can create an ad and it will go on the bottom right hand side. You guys see that? And then also on your YouTube. You guys notice on your newsfeed, the second post, anytime you're in your newsfeed, is an ad. You guys notice that? Second post is always an ad. And what are the majority of those ads? Probably for I get maybe winners ads all the time. I see Brandy Boss ads all the time. met these successful coaches, and success is clue, right? So I think that is a good clue. Janelle Summers, Christine Dwyer, Mimi Leonard, all of these top coaches are investing in that. Then I better invest in that. That's how I look at it. So I did start paying for ads. When I first started paying for ads, it was about the time my husband was quitting his job, so he started like how we're supporting family. And I don't like spending money on resumes. And so I was like, I don't want to spend a lot of money on this, working hard, and we need to save. And so I did a week on, week off. Or I would pay for ads the week that I planned on advertising for. So I was strategic about when I did ads, that kind of thing. Personally, in my opinion, you can boost posts and you can do the ads. Ways to increase your comments. Now, true or false questions. Basically making this easy for people. I started doing this a lot more on my page and show that. Go ahead and just write this down or take a picture of it. Spark people. You guys go to their page. They're really good about this. This is a good place to get ideas on what kind of comments and questions to ask your page, your business page. Now, fill in the blank. Doing events. Talking about events. Who's going down to the Jerusalem conference? You know, it's like you guys know your calendars, your like pages. I did a post that was like, roll call, what city are you from? 200. You know, that increases my Facebook community. That helps me. Scottie is really good about this. He does. That links to your question. How many of you guys seen that? Fill out like every week. And it's for this reason, because it helps his Facebook community. He does hey, I'm doing 290X on my workout today. What are you doing today? He's asking people questions. He does that all the time. If you guys watch, you're watching what successful people do, and you're asking, what are they doing to be successful? You will notice that they're doing this. They're asking questions. They're saying, what are you doing today? Or I'm watching a movie with my wife. What do you guys do to do? Hey, Scottie, how many of you guys are like, yes, oh my gosh, that's exactly what Scottie's doing. Yes, he's doing this. And if you go to my page on my core fitness page, you'll see I do the same thing. Okay? Just pointing that out. Now, what's that? So I'm going like the wrong way. Okay, ads. I just wanted to show you. This is my overall likes in addition. So you do have some people who unlike your page, and I just like to think of them as Beachbody coaches who decided that they didn't want to help me somehow. I don't know. Or body by people I pissed off. So I don't really worry about that. Now the dark blue, those are paid likes. So I get about 40 likes a day from, I can't remember exactly. I think I identified 19 to 20 paid likes a day. Then this, getting 30 to 40 likes a day, are unpaid, what do they call it? Organic likes. Those are from shares. I'm going to tell you right now, those are from shares, from likes and comments. Okay, and that helps. And then you see the net average is like this. So I average about 50 new likes a day on my website by having shares and following this content, following what I told you to do. What I told you to do, you can do. And you get 50 new likes a day if you're consistent. And then hopefully I will get more than that, and then I'll show you can get more than that today. So again, this was organic likes. You can see that it's between last month I had a lot of stuff that was getting shared, and so 2 months ago it was about 100 likes a day from organic likes, and then it's down to 50 likes a day from organic likes. Those are shares. Last period it was about 20. 2 months ago, 20 likes a day from paid ads and then much more. So you can see what that was doing. So that just kind of sums it up on those top 10 tips to get started. You already have like page 10 top 10 tips to develop your page to get started. Okay, how do you guys feel? Do you guys feel like you learned a lot on how to build your business? This is exciting because I'm going to tell you, I was on my Facebook page this morning, that I have looked at my account. I have a big whiteboard, and I write down every single one of my coaches' accounts. That's like their name. I have another whiteboard with all my challenges. And I look at their names. And looking at their names, I can tell you honestly 90% of those people I did not know when I signed up. 90% of them. So if I had not done what I just told you to do, I would have 10% of the business I have now. You realize that? 10%. How many of you guys are like a 90% increase in your business? Wouldn't that be awesome? You'd be like, yes, I was totally retired. I would totally bring my husband home if I had 90% more income than I do now. Okay, this is what I did to get 90% more to expand my network. Okay? If you're consistent with these things, you will have a business because this is what I did. I'm not holding anything back. This is exactly what I did. Because I had to be strategic about it and make a plan, and that's my personality, and that's my plan. You guys can do the same thing. You can expand your network. And if you're just consistent with that, and you do personal development, you can continue to learn, then feel what. Okay. Questions?
How much did your white page post your original page?
Good question. When I first started, I was very hesitant about it because I had built up my personal Facebook page, so I had about 1,500 friends about. I remember when I started. And then when I told everyone, I just made an announcement. I said, I am moving over to my life page. That instantly, because I had already developed a following, and people already knew that I was adding content and I was helping them, and I gave them, they already had a reason to follow me. On my first page, my life page had like 600 followers. So it was like a pretty instant thing in that sense. But that was still only half, right? So I still had more people on my personal page. So I was constantly sharing. And I was constantly doing teasers, is what I call it. So I constantly would say, hey, if you're not following my life page, there's a post about how to overcome emotional eating. Yeah. Like giving people a reason to go follow. I would post a picture of a recipe. They'd be like, recipes of over on my life page, of all my life page. So those are teasers. So I was giving people a reason to go over my life page, and I constantly would share the post, and I would say, if you're not following my life page, you're missing out. And you will notice I continue to do that. Continue to tell people to go over to my life page. But I knew, okay, where do I have the biggest audience? It was my personal page, and so I shared everything, and I still focused, and I still did posting, but I was sharing it. And now I have 12,000 people on my life page. I only have 2,300 friends on Facebook, and I don't have to. So I am focusing more on my life page. So if you go to my personal page, I am not a good example now of how to build a business on your personal page because it's not a focus. My focus is yourself. So I feel it's always important to recognize where you have the biggest audience and where people are coming from right now.
You also follow the same rules on your life page as far as your personal Facebook page, as far as like only one post product is not, or
good question. There's a life page is different. With a life page, I feel that people it's reverse. I feel like people want to know more about fitness foods and they want to see that, but they still want to connect with me. So I'm still following that content plan of giving them good content, sharing my stories. I still talk about me and I give them information, but I focus 80% of it sharing my story and giving them good content information, and only 20% of giving them a call to action specifically about these topics. And so if you go to my page, you can see that it's mostly recipes and useful tips and information. And I think the 12 o'clock post I have right now is like 10 ways to get started. I feel like it's like just something I felt like would add value. And I focus more on that. And I've heard, just kind of my research of doing this, I've heard people talk about a wave concept. So you have like the posts that get a lot of likes and a lot of comments. So you're kind of riding this wave, right? Then you do a call to action post. Now all of a sudden, the Beachbody coaches start liking it. So they're like, oh, this is Beachbody challenge. I don't want to like it. So you get like 20 as opposed to like 200 likes. And you're like, oh, hey, that's a wave. And you're going to build it up again. But the thing is, even though there was only 20 people that liked it, because you built up your following and you strategically post it, people are going to see it. Because they were liking and commenting on it, and so it gets a wave. Does that make sense? So the week before, I strategically do plan my challenge with posts. I'm going to post, so I try to think of, okay, what's going to get liked, what's going to get shared, and I do a ton of those. I do a giveaway, something like that, that's going to build that tribe traction and get a lot of waves, and then when I post, more people will see it. Does that make sense? Any other questions? It was awesome. Thank you for letting me talk for like so freaking long.
Okay, everybody stand up for a second. And then we need to stretch. So we've gone for a little while. So high five someone if you learned something new today. No, don't be sorry. That was, I didn't want you to stop. Yeah, all right. Can everybody get a little stretch? So, okay, awesome. I know some people are going to need to use the restroom, so we'll let them go. Okay, we'll get started because I know it's 8:45 to noon. So that was awesome stuff. I want to ask you guys a question. I don't know, kind of a random question. We're gonna talk about what is Team Beachbody Movement. That was a question I got. Like people want to know. Like Regina shared all this information, like how we can expand our network. She had 200 friends on Facebook. I as well had 200 friends on Facebook. I had 420 on Facebook. So expanding your network is a huge thing. So she gave us a lot of tips, and she has tons, like she said, she has videos and webinars on this. If you need more in-depth detail on how to do some of these things, we can send videos to you some of these stuff. Well, I want to ask you guys, one of the things I was going to talk about aside from what is Team Beachbody is also just real quick time management and leadership a little bit. I'm going to focus just quick on what is Team Beachbody and the time management, and give you guys like a list, like an action plan to lead from here to start doing some of the things that you learned. I think that's more important. We'll do a leadership meeting maybe next month and pull out how to become a leader. One thing I love about Brigida is when do you become a leader according to Brigida? You have your first coach. And I spoke on Melanie Mitro's team call, and I got a little bit rowdy. You know, you saw her get a little bit excited about it. But if you sign up one coach, you better not let them down because they joined you for a reason. So you're a leader to that person. So, like she said, like you could share my videos, but what I would do is learn from mine and then apply it yourself. Make your own video using that information, or make your own blog post so that that person can look up to you as their leader, and that'll help you grow your confidence. You grow your confidence when you learn something, but in order to grow, you have to apply what you learn, like you take into action. So one of my favorite things I always tell my coaches is, like she shared a lot of information. It's important to know what to do, but what's more important than to actually just take the steps to do it. You don't have to be perfect. I've shared posts in the team page about my Facebook page, and I remember I put like, I'm so excited, I just became a diamond coach, which is a big deal for coaches. You guys know that's a big deal. I'm excited to be a diamond coach. I'm super pumped up. We're going to build a huge team with Team Beachbody. Oh, it's brand new. So that's what I wrote on my wall. I had like 7 likes and not one comment. So you can't look at like where it's at right now. Like Brigida engages a lot of people. Well, I engage a lot of people. But the reason that came is because we were consistent with doing those things. And when something didn't get comments, we were like, okay, that doesn't work. Let me try something else. And Gabby's the one that gets, by the way, I can't take credit. Gabby's the one that gets all the engagement on my page. She's the one that does the Family Feud questions, or we've already rented a movie for Redbox from the Redbox, and we just ask people anyway, hey, we're gonna have a movie night. What should we watch? We already have our movie. Well, we're being genuine for our next one.
Yeah.
We want to know what to watch next. But there's ways to engage people. So awesome stuff. What are some things that you guys see or heard from Brigida that stand out to you that make her a great leader? Yeah.
So one of my favorite things is I was really scared about going being public about everything. And she was the first one that was like, quit being scared, take an action, do it. Just do it. Quit getting in your way. Do it.
So she was bold.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe step outside your comfort zone. Awesome. What else do you guys see in Brigida that makes her a leader? Without what's on life. And what else? What's that?
You know my dad? Yeah.
Yes.
She researched everything.
Research.
I know that, like, when she said that when she was became a coach, she went through back office, read everything, and she read, went, watched all the videos, she learned everything, and she talked about it here too, that she didn't know everything, she did her research, she researched the app, she researches everything, to find the best, or so she's knowledgeable, I know that she's more research, so.
Yeah, just to add on that, she didn't, just taking action to do that and not relying on me to do that. I love that she actually said, it's not all that, it's all that.
That one quote. What's the quote about that? You
Like
get
you
enough
get-
in life.
The one like where you get more people that interest in you and like I don't know.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great one. So all these great examples. And she talks about being positive every day, being uplifting. Like she has her bad days. I have my bad days. That day before she went on the retreat, I got a long text about how bad things were. So she comes for help when she needs it, but then she does what she needs for herself, to make that better for herself. You can, one thing, we'll talk about this in a leadership thing, but I believe like people will join the business not because of the products, but because of your outlook on life, the way you're living your life. I hear so many people say like my business is struggling, or my challenge groups are struggling, or my coaches aren't doing what I'm telling them, and usually it comes back to something not right in your own life, which we can fix with one of the key things that she talked about and got a little bit passionate about today, which was personal development ed. I know Scott's been a coach for a while, but things started to change for them when they started doing personal development as well. So, be the very best person you can every day. And one of my mentors, I go to a seminar with Brendan Bouchard. He says to have like a millionaire mindset or to build a big business, he says you gotta bliss out every day. You just gotta be excited about life. And with her social media stuff, one thing he said to have that mindset of being your own business owner is so many people have great ideas and great insights and things to share. And maybe you write it in a journal or you write down a note like, I need to do this. He said, use the word millionaires because that's his thing. So a millionaire will put content out on a blog or a YouTube video immediately for people. Like he'll share information. So share information, add value to people like what you shared with like your life page or Instagram. And just get out and start sharing it, and people aren't gonna like it in the beginning. Like they'll like it, but they won't. They won't comment like you want them to, but the key is the consistency part, like doing it over and over and over, and you will gain your following, your ads, value. So thank you, Brigida, for sharing that. So what is Team Beachbody? If you haven't grabbed one, if you don't have one, you can have one using these. Successful Home Magazine. We are an awesome company, so I want to teach you guys just very briefly, like how to answer for this Team Beachbody. A lot of times we get stuck with stuff. Brigida's teaching you now to put out on social media that you're a Beachbody coach and that you're growing challenge groups. So I want to arm you so you know what to say when someone says, what is Team Beachbody? So to do that first, we're going to share just a couple stories, like 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to have Marcy share first, and she has some awesome information for you guys. Are you guys good with another half hour all together here? Is that good? Marcy, will you share with us?
Sure.
And it's not comfortable for her, so just know she's stepping outside.
Not used to this yet, so working on it. Beachbody to me is this community of coaches and just helping others, inspiring others. And one of the great things about Beachbody is amazing company, first off. You are working on your transformation. Enter the Beachbody Challenge because it is fantastic. They give out prizes every day. And my surprise information is I was the October monthly winner. So it is incredible. I won $1,000 for my transformation. I lost 85 pounds. And it's a big change, and it's exciting that this company does this for you. They, provide you with everything you need. They give you the tools, the products. You get amazing coaches, and your coaches, shout out to your coaches because they are incredible. She gets a prize because I nominated her. So your coaches are amazing. Coaches are fantastic, and that is what Team Scottie is about. Getting out there, inspiring others, doing what it takes, working on yourself. Like she said, don't be afraid to take care of yourself because then you can help to take care of others. And that is Team Scottie itself.
Thank you, Marcy. I will let Miss Christy share next.
Awesome. Okay, well, so I kind of go back to a little ways. I live a block away from Hobbs. So I've been watching them grow their business for a long time. I really didn't think that much about it. They never really came straight out and said, you guys doing Scottie or anything like that. I just kind of knew what it was from them. But I had a really, really good friend that I watched what she was doing in her life, and I loved that she was a homeschool for kids because I was interested in doing these things. And she went to Summit. And that's when I saw that she was doing Beachbody stuff, and I called her. I called her. She never mentioned anything about Beachbody. And I actually called her and said, I'm ready. I need to gain control of my life. I am done making an excuse that I can't lose weight while I'm nursing. Let's get this done. So we talked about the program. I signed up, and that leads me to my before and after. I am now 40 pounds down, and Beachbody basically has helped me have that plan because I didn't have time before. I was having a hard time getting control and figuring out the rhythm of how to apply fitness and health to my life, and I needed it from me because I have 3 boys at home. So that's what it's done for me, and then Scott also asked me, one of my questions that's one of the hardest things for me to answer because we're all driven in different ways, and what my plans for Beachbody, and the reason why I decided to start coaching is I have my sister, and whoa! Anyway, she is amazing. She's beautiful in so many ways. She doesn't know it at all. She is just a hundred. And she thinks there's no way that she could ever lose weight. And every time it's brought up, she gets emotional. My mom has paid for a lot down surgery for her. She tried everything quick fix, and all that's ever done is actually make things worse. She's not eating healthy now because everything healthy. She gets up, she goes up, and so she lives off bags of M&Ms and things that are completely horrible. And so the only way that I know that I will be able to make a difference for her is I am going to change others' lives. And I am going to do all I can to make other people see that they can do it so that she will see that I can help her and that she can come to me and that I will not judge anything that she's ever done, that all I care is that she knows that she can do it. So that is my driving motive. And anyway, that's awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, Christy. I'm going to skip past this one right here. Wow. I'm actually just doing this so I can. So that's a great thing. She has a purpose, And in order to build like a business with this or to go out and help people, you have to have a purpose. Like, you can't tie it just to a number or a commission. Like I have no doubt that she'll be financially successful and build a Beachbody business with this because she has a purpose for her life. Like that's her purpose is to help her sister, which means she has to help other people and show that it works. So awesome. Thanks for sharing that. But I want to help teach you guys to tell your story. Like she just told a story right there. Who here would not join her challenge? Or like after listening to it, if she sat down with you at a lunch meeting or talked to you on the phone and told you that's why she's doing it, who would be inclined to join her business?
I would.
I would. So just know that like everybody, we all have the same challenge groups, the same Shakeology, the same deal for everybody. There's no special deals in this business to get successful or run challenge groups, but it's your story. Like, why are you doing this? What's your purpose in doing this? So you need to learn how to tell your story, and it comes from taking practice. You know, or just from practicing, from telling somebody, sitting down with somebody, visit your mom or your dad or your sister or your neighbor or your friend. Just start. The only way to learn is to start. And it won't ever come out perfect. Like she might have had other things she wanted to share, but it's still you were still touched by it. You know. So what I want you to do, we never done this in local meetings. I want you to stand up and get in little groups of 4 right now. Little groups of 4, and we're going to learn to tell our story. Just like 2 minutes. You're just going to talk to each other for 2 minutes. You're going to say 3 things. How did you hear about Team Beachbody? What has Team Beachbody done for you, and what do you plan to do with Team Beachbody? So groups of 3 or 4 are fine. And be with people that you don't know so well. You go, Scottie. Yo, Scottie. You need to get into the group. I'll give you my camera. You can go back to John. Okay, they gotta go. Hold it right here. 3 things. Just tell your story. How did you hear about Team Beachbody? What has it done for you? What are you trying to do? Like, what's your purpose? Okay. Alex, that's right. You want to start, Alex?
I know. I was looking. I'm like, there might be a box.
Well, I heard about it. She told me like you were like and so I did it. I didn't know what I needed to do. I've never worked out in my life. We're on the same page, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I thought you had a once I talked
We are, but I didn't start.
You work out for what? What?
Feel like distracted me from building things, but I love this stuff. And I'll be able to I get building my business right now, but I love it. When I was
I'm learning. Well, as far as the challenge, we talked about my biggest thing is a year ago.
what I need right now is
Well, yeah.
I know. I know. No, it's been hard. Because but I have people ask me about it.
I'll show you that. I remember a lot about like what you want to do with your kind of create a story.
Yeah, he's always kind of like.
I remember like I didn't know I've seen people on social media like I won't hear my wife. I know that I don't know how we're gonna do it yet. If I had enough of you guys, maybe we'll that was my main story. Yes, this is what I plan to do.
I don't know, that would be like
we all have a complete story to share together. Whether it's just these two ladies saying, hey,
you know what I mean?
My thing was, I posted,
let's hear your
and I sorry. And then we got it. About that night. And then I don't feel I know, and that's what I felt like. That's part of why I was like, I'd be like, all right, no more for you. It'd be like, I'm handing you people, like I'm giving you opportunity to make you walk around.
Oh, sure.
You have app. What did you guys like? I've done all those.
Cool. We are good. How did everybody do telling your story? Is that anybody's like first time to standing up and tell somebody? Okay, we had a couple. We had a couple people do that step of your first, sharing your story for your first time. And you get better as you go. Like, you craft your story. I'm going to share some things from Brendan Bouchard. I talk about him a lot. He's probably the reason that we have been able to be in the top of the company as a team, because he's taught me. He teaches things about like being a high performer. But one of the things I took away from it was not just being a high performer in your business, like in your business, but he made me reflect on things like, are you a high performer with your spouse? Are you a high performer with your kids, or at your job, or whatever role you have in your life? So he's helped me a lot in that reason. And one thing I love about Brendan is he's really goofy and awkward. Like he flies like this across the stage, and it's just really. And I was like, hey, I'm kind of weird like that too. But what I like is he talks about, like, he'll be all animated and excited and moving around, and then he'll start telling parts of the story, and he's just like, you can tell he's genuine about it. Like, it's, parts of his story like changed his life. So telling your story is an important part. Like when I first went there with Brigida to the seminar where we met Brendan, we went to a seminar with Shalene, but Brendan was the guest speaker. He got up there and he started with his story, and I was like, after his story, he's like, I'm going to listen to whatever this guy says. And I spent $1,000 to do his program, and it had to do with the story basically, because I connected with him on his story, and I bought his program for $1,000. And that program changed my life. So the same thing with when you guys talk to somebody, your story, someone's going to connect with your story, and then comes the sales and the challenge back. Like, this is what I have to offer you on why I'm living the life like I am right now. So your story is important. I could talk about my story for like an hour, but I'll just hit on just a couple parts of it, just brief parts. I too am awkward, like Brigida says she is. I'm not saying you're awkward. I'm really. If you've known me a long time, I'm quiet. I'm a shy person. Being in front of crowds is not comfortable for me. And Alethea was the first one that challenged me to stand up and talk in front of people. I was coached for about 4 months, and it scared crap out of me. Same way as like Christy spoke today and Marcy. I had a piece of paper with notes and a transformation story of someone I wanted to share. And I was so scared and nervous that I didn't even show the picture. That was my main thing I wanted to do. So it takes practice. You just have to start doing it. So thanks to you guys for doing that. But I believe we've become successful in this business because we care about helping people, like Christy. A lot of people. I've been a coach now for 30 months, so almost 3 years. But before that, 8 months, I was invited. I'll say this: I was invited to be a coach by my coach, and it took me 8 months to sign up. So an important thing I want you guys to know, and Carl Eichler on the Surge just recently talked about this, is like, what if Lindsay, because Lindsay Matway's my coach, she invited me to be a coach when she was 3 months into the business, and it took me 8 months to join. Carl said, what if Lindsay said, oh, poor me, like I have no leaders in my business, like I have nobody doing anything. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should quit. She said, what would have happened to Scottie? Like, maybe he would have never joined. Maybe his life would have never changed. And he said, he's like, you guys have people, and he used my name because he's speaking. You guys have people like Scottie in your life right now, and they need you to stay consistent. They need you to keep leading your business because maybe they're not ready yet, like Scottie wasn't ready. And you may have the next Lindsay Matway or the next Brigida, or the next Christy, or anybody in this room that's in your business right now. Like I could tell you guys are all, like hearing your stories, you guys are all amazing coaches. There's people out there that need you to be consistent with the things that Brigida taught you today. And I'll teach you guys some things that I do, just so you can have a takeaway of things that I do every single day. So you can use those and modify and make them your own. But that was my story. It took me 8 months to decide to become a coach. But during that time, I was helping people already. I was already helping Cherish's coach Melissa, and I was already helping my sister. I didn't have a link as an official Beachbody coach for them to buy from me, but I was seriously excited to get a message where I could give them an answer, like, oh, this is what I would do. I would drink more water, or I was just giving advice to people, and I loved knowing that I could add value to somebody. So I did that for the 8 months that I wasn't a coach. I started a group. We didn't have challenge groups there, but I started a Facebook group with people that wanted help with their fitness. So what I'm saying is I found a purpose. Like I felt fulfilled in being able to help people with something that I'd gone through. I didn't know about Insanity or Turbo Fire. I never mentioned any of those things, not even Shakeology, but I knew P90X because it helped me. So I help people with P90X and things that I learned from P90X. So you have to find your purpose or your fulfillment. And for me, fulfilling was knowing that I could help somebody. When someone's like, oh, I'm so excited, I just did my first week and I can't hardly walk. I was like, oh, sweet, you're going the right way. It was exciting for me. So, for those of you that are new and maybe don't see financial success yet, just know that for me, like, it didn't just explode. That was 8 months of, like, I could have been a coach and never made a sale, but it was all part of my business. Just helping people and learning to help people and answering people's messages and adding value to people. So I love doing that. I signed up as a coach in April 2011 officially. And just know that you're so important as a person. Like, you have so much. It's not up to you to like do the workouts for people, but you have the ability to introduce them to something that's changed your life and give them the tools to change their life, and then be an example of how to do that. One of the things, I don't want you to think that you have to drag everybody to do it and all that, but you need to be the acceptance of them and just introduce them what's possible and then be the best encourager that you can to them. But I found that fulfillment. I remember telling Lindsay, I had self-doubt, like tons of self-doubt. And you said some of them to me, but I was like, oh. Lindsay was like a bikini model. She's blonde. Like, she has like 200 and something thousand views on her YouTube video channel, on her one video. And that's how I found Lindsay, so you guys know YouTube again. I found her on YouTube. But I had all these things, but I don't know when the defining moment was, but and it might have been with my wife, asking her one simple question. But I had doubts. Like, top coach the last 2 years was Wayne Wyatt. He's like the biggest ripped monster you'll ever see from P90X. And I was like, well, I can't ever beat Wayne Wyatt. I can never be better than Wayne. He's got this video. So I had all these limiting beliefs in myself, but I did feel fulfilled in helping people. And over time, as I helped more people, my belief in myself grew. But I remember just asking Lindsay, I was like, okay, Lindsay, I need to make $10,000 a year with Team Beachbody. And she's like, okay, I can't promise you $10,000, but I do promise the income will be a direct reflection of the number of lives that you change. So I was like, okay, so that was I already liked changing lives. My little thing that I made, so I'm like, okay, I can set my numbers on how many people I'm going to help. And so I went to work with that, and she gave me goals, like success club. Those were all important, set those goals. But the focus was on, like, if I'm going to make $10,000 to bring Gabby home, then I need to set my goal more on how many people I'm going to help change, how many people I can help change. And so we just went to work at that, and it was, being able to tell my story. Like, I was talking in our little group, one of the things that I said as a brand new coach, because I didn't have a story, like a business story. Like, I don't know if people are going to join my business. I'm not a successful coach yet. But the thing I did is I did share how P90X changed my life. I did it 5 times before I joined as a coach. I did P90X for 5 times, get down. So proof the product works. I had been doing that P90X and sharing it with people. And I remember I did what one would call a shake and share. I just invited people over to learn about Beachbody. And I just told them, I said, hey, and my wife was at work, so it helped the story. Because I was working 5 in the morning till 5 at night, and she was working from 3 to 11. And I just told people, I had 2 of my kids there. She was pregnant with the third. Just barely had the third, so I had all 3 of them. And she was at work, and I just told people, like, hey, this is what I did with P90X. I shared transformation photo, like you showed the 50 smart keys. It's changed my life. Like, I feel confident. That's why you're here. I want to tell you guys that you can change your health, you can change your fitness. And I learned, and I just said, I learned that if I could help enough people go through transformations like this and change their life, that I could bring my wife home from work. And you guys can see she's not here. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to help people with the transformation. And it wasn't a big sales pitch. I just said, if anyone here is ready to change, like, I'm going to help as many people as I can. So just let me know. And we shared Shakeology. It wasn't a big sales pitch or anything fancy or a big presentation that I worked on for days. It was just me sharing, like, this is how it helped me. This is what I want to do with it. this is what I am going to do with it. And I just shared my story. And to fast forward, Gabby left her job exactly a year after, so April 2012. And it was probably 8 months into the business where I haven't told this part of the story for a while, but I was sick with the man cold. You guys know what the man cold is? I kind of started getting it. Last night I told you, um, uh, I was home for like 3 days, and Gabby was like, "Okay, man up," pretty much what she said. Like, you can get out of bed now. And she's like, "How about you go get Tina from the school bus?" So I got up, and we lived in the back of the cul-de-sac, and I was walking, get her from the school bus, and like the bus came before I got there, and she stepped off the bus, and I'm just thinking about it, makes me cry a little bit, but she stepped off the bus, and I was like, it was like a aha moment, I guess, a moment of more clarity of what I could do with this, or what it would feel like, I guess, if I kept doing what I was doing. And I realized at that moment that if I continued doing what I was doing and working as hard as I could and going through all those no's that I was getting, trying to find those people like me, Rita, she hasn't come along yet, by the way, that if I found enough people that I could see every single one of my kids get off the school bus, I could go to their dance recitals or their singing classes or take them on dates, lunch dates, and I wouldn't have to ask somebody for time to do that. I could do that whenever I wanted. But not only that, but I realized that, like, holy cow, this quiet, shy, like not very secure person lives in the back of this cul-de-sac that only plays video games and works 12 hours a day. If he can do this, then there's other people out there just like me that I can find. So it was like that day I was like, I am going to help. That's my new purpose. Like, I am going to be a role model for fathers that don't get to spend enough time for their parents, parents that feel like they don't have enough time for their kids, or that maybe they have kids that have grown up and they didn't feel like they spent much time with them, and they want to buy that time back and create freedom. That I knew that if I helped enough people by being examples, that there was people out there that I could help do that same thing. So that's why I do this. It's my purpose is to help people do that. And to be honest, like Brigitte says, talk about things, engage people with things. Like in the beginning, the people I attracted was just because I had a before picture and then I had abs that attracted people, you know. But now I attract people because I talk about my kids, spending time with my kids. I know Brigitte talks about her kids all the time, especially like the youngest, and so that's what I use on social media. I don't say I use my family, but that's how I connect with people. That's how people connect with me, and I get people that have a real reason or a purpose when they begin as a team beach volleyball coach for why they're going to do this. And it's absolutely been like a life-changing experience. Like money doesn't matter after a certain point, but it's the freedom that you create. Like Lisa shared her story over here. She wants to create a freedom. Like she has an income goal. The income goal is to create freedom in her life. And I don't even know what a Monday is anymore. I don't know what things when like I know because I have a schedule, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But there's no more Mondays. There's no feeling of like, oh, I was talking with Gabby just to share with you guys randomly. We were coming home from a trip, and I remember Sundays coming home from a weekend, and I was like always on such a tight schedule. That's the kind of person I am, and it bothers her sometimes. I'm so strict on it. We got to get there, but I was like, do you remember when I used to like rush us to get away from our vacation because I needed to get back, settle in, and prepare myself for the hell that was coming on Monday morning? And I was like, we don't do that anymore. We come home at 10 o'clock if we want. And go to bed, go to bed at midnight, and then wake up and it's just a new day. And I'm excited to get back and answer messages because I've been out of my routine. And that's because we found a purpose. That feeling. So it's important as you go away from this. Brigitte shared some amazing things, amazing tips, successfully foods. Don't wait for somebody to tell you to do them. We were telling you right now, just start doing them. It won't be perfect right away, but find a purpose too, because if you don't have a purpose tied to why you're doing this, you won't. I'm going to teach you guys how to be a little bit like a high performer real quick and how to work from the list. But if you don't have a purpose, there's no reason to do the list. You won't have a reason to wake up earlier or stay up later or sacrifice some TV time or whatever to work your list and do it with a purpose. So make sure that you find your purpose. And one little activity right now I want you to do, this is a totally random thing. I want you guys to define in your own spare time, in some meditation or some quiet time, think about your life. Like what would it mean? I want you to like write down the perfect day, like what a successful day is for you. Like, I mean, like from like how you slept. If you, we're talking this perfect day could come later on, but like you wake up at this time, like maybe you wake up for work at now at like 5 o'clock because you got your beach body business, and then you got to go to work, and then you got to watch kids. So everything from what it's like when you wake up, how it feels, what you do, what your interactions are like with your family, with your kids, with your team that you're gonna have, your future team, every person you come into contact, make like that ideal day, like what it looks like and what it feels like. And that way you'll begin to start to understand like your purpose, like how life is gonna feel when you get to that point. So really define like that purpose. So like what you're doing this for, so that you can do the things that Brigida taught you, and then I'm gonna teach you as well. Because I guess one thing, like if you have, and I could ask Brigida this, like if I were to ask Brigida, like how's your, like she's very successful, makes over a 6-figure income with Team Beachbody, retired her family, like her husband from 2 jobs, so she's very successful. But if I were to ask you, like, how's your business going, and let's just say she's like, no, it's fine. Most of us in the room would be like, oh, it's fine. Fine, you make a 6-figure income. You know, so she, in order for her business to be great or her life to be great, she has to have a purpose, like a reason why she's doing it. So make sure that you find a purpose, because that's what's going to drive you to continue doing this business as you do it. So I want to teach you guys real quick how to be a high performer. And it all comes from Brendan Burchard. You'll hear me talk about him. And we'll make it real quick. How to be efficient with your time, because you guys are, who's busy? We all have the same amount of time in the day, or at least some of us did when we began the business. So how to be efficient with your time. I have a little thing here. I got the next page a little bit bigger so you can see it. What I'm going to do, if you guys could pass these around. These are just what I do. Remember, you can't make it exactly to your business, like your life, your lifestyle. These are just some of the things I do every single day, like no matter what. So if you want to pass those around, and I'll teach you where that goes on this list. But you guys can look at that. That's just my to-do list. You can take it home and look at it. Everything I do. And one thing I want to teach you about, if you want to be a high performer like in life and in your business, one thing Brendan teaches is you have to be like fully present. So when you have a conversation with somebody, you have to be fully present. You have to be fully present. Like when Brigida came here, I'm sure she had to clear her mind, get ready, and she was fully present to deliver a message to you guys. So you have to learn to be fully present in your time. And one thing that Brendan says that I love is, like, for example, I told Brigida, I was like, oh man, I went to bed last night at 9:30 because I was starting to feel sick. My eyes hurt, my head hurt. And Brendan told a story one time when he did his first presentation for like 7,000 people. He got food poisoning the night before. And he said, you know, he had to get fully present. Like, he had to put all excuses aside for what his body was going through and get present in the moment. Like, he had to deliver to these people that came to pay for his thing. So what I'm telling you guys is, even if you have one follower, like, you have to show up and be present and deliver your message to these people every day, no matter how you feel. Like I have horrible days as well. I have 4 kids that scream and fight at with each other. You know, I have a wife and kids, so I have days when I'm like, gosh, is it bedtime yet? You know, so I have days like that. But a high performer will perform no matter what. They'll know their purpose, and if you have to, like, before our team calls on Wednesday night, that's after like 4 hours of being with my kids. I'm exhausted. That's after like 6 hours of doing my Team Beachbody business, 4 hours with the kids. I'm emotionally exhausted, and then I got to get on and motivate people from across the country. I have to get pumped up. You have to get present for that call so that can have an impact. So learn as you do this list or your list, you have to learn to get present. Like, you have to get engaged with your people. You have to lift yourself up. If you're tired, you got to wake yourself up. If you're sick, you gotta give them everything you can, on a consistent basis. So we talked about consistency. I'm sure she's been in the past 2 years sick for a couple of days, but she still moves her business forward in some way, like adds value to people. So this is what I do. This is the system that I follow. And what I want you to do is you just really have to decide like how much time you're willing to put into your Team Beachbody business. If I was talking to somebody before we got started, if you treat this business, let's say like yes, you have your purpose and you want to help people, but I know a lot of us want to create a business as well, create freedom. To do that, you have to treat it like a business. You have to set business hours and you have to work from a list so that you're effective. Brigida says so you don't get in scrolling on like down the news feed and get lost. It's called browser blackout when you do that. And some people think they get on to do their Beachbody, they start in a group, and then 2 hours later they've liked everybody's pictures and seen everybody's vacation and even watched maybe all of Scottie's videos, and that's browser blackout. If you're not on a time schedule, it's a browser blackout. You're not doing your to-do list and moving a business forward. So I'm sure if any of you work like a 8-hour job and you go in, like you have things that you have to do, like assignments or tasks that you have to do or you get fired, you kind of have to treat it like that if you want to grow a business out of it. If you want it to be a hobby, that's okay. You can treat it like a hobby, but I'm teaching you this if you want to make like a business out of it, a full-time business like Brigida's done and like I've done. So you've got to be the CEO of your own company. So first create the time that you're willing to work, and then next work from a list. So just to give you guys, I want you guys to know exactly what I did. There's my list right there. I do this every single day. I've done this every single day for 30 months, except for Sundays. I don't work on Sunday. And then sometimes if I go on like a family vacation on Saturdays, I don't do it. But when I was building my business and we couldn't go on vacations, I did it on Saturdays too for 2 hours. So this is what I did. And you guys know my schedule. I work 5 in the morning to 5 at night. And Gabby worked 3 to 11. So that means I got home from work at 5. I had my kids. And I put them to bed at, like Bridget said, I put my kids to bed at 8 o'clock. And by the time they were really in bed, not coming out anymore, it was about 8:30. And then I sat in my desk. And at first it was our computer is like our TV in the living room. So I sat in this little stool like this. But I sat there. I sat down and did it every single day. This list right here. But so I had like my little office area. I had my time, which was 8:30 to 10:30 every single day for like 6 months. And then later, I added time on as the business grew and started to expand. And I had to sacrifice things like Scott will tell you, I had to quit softball because sometimes games are at 9, and I had to go to work on my Beachbody business at 8:30, so I couldn't play softball at 9 o'clock. So I had to quit some things. So I had to figure out my priorities, like what do I need to eliminate now so that I can do this list, so I can create this business to bring my wife home. So you've got to treat it like that if that's what you want to do. Well, here's the basics thing that I follow. I have, it doesn't have to be 3, it could be 1, but I have projects that need to be done. A project, just so you guys understand, for me, a project would be like make a YouTube video, or a project would be maybe it would be Christy. I saw Christy's transformation photo, so I'm gonna make a blog about it. So I'll put on my list maybe for tomorrow. This would be my tomorrows. I'll put maybe I listened to my personal development and they talked about leadership, like you have to lead yourself. So I'm like, video about leading yourself, Christy Perkins transformation. So those are my 2 projects that I have to do tomorrow. So I always have projects to do, and there's this thing here you can use as well. 5 big things I must do to move this project forward. Simple for Christy's would be contact Christy, ask if it's okay, save her picture, easy little things. So projects that need to be done, and so those are projects that I'm going to do no matter what. I'm going to schedule them in my time to do. And then right here, I have people I need to reach out to today, and people I'm waiting on. So people to reach out to, people I'm waiting on. And this one ties into my list of 10 things to do right here. But I always have this here as like my most important ones, like the ones that are going to move my business forward the most right now. Like for example, today I have on my phone a reminder, my list at home. I have 2 people that said they're purchasing the challenge pack today. So they obviously need to go on people I need to reach out to today. So I'm going to reach out and follow up with them if they actually purchase the challenge pack like they said they were going to do. So people I need to reach out to, people I'm waiting on. And how this works, I'm going to hit on this. This is on this list right here. Do follow-ups, number 7. This is my number 7 right here. People I'm waiting on, this is like my follow-up list. Like people that I've started a conversation with and they're like, hey dude, what's that T25 you've been talking about? So they come onto my list of follow-ups, people that I'm forming, asking questions, finding out their goals. So I go through this, people I'm waiting on, ask, go follow up, see if they did what I asked them to do, whether it was watching a video, whether it was coming to Fit Club, whether it was watching a Shakeology video, whether it was actually clicking the link, to make me their free coach, whatever it is. I have that list of people I'm waiting on. So, and one thing that I want you guys to know is don't ever, like when you sit down, let's say your business starts at 8, don't ever open your Facebook inbox or your email looking for something to do. Because one thing that I learned from him, and this helped me be so much more productive, or your text messages, like your text message inbox, anything where somebody can ask you for help, I guess. You want to help people, but to be a high performer, you have to make sure that you do your things first before you go out and help other people, which is like taking care of we'll do the list here in a second, but taking care of your things you need to get done first before you help other people. Take care of you first, yourself, and then you can help others better. And that's how we've been able to grow our business so efficiently is learning to work from a priority list like this. One of the things that he says in email is like an email account or a Facebook inbox or a text message. I don't know his exact terminology, but it's an organized system of taking care of other people's problems. So, and what happens is if you start doing that, you get into a cycle. Maybe you only have an hour to do this business, or 2 hours. If you open those messages and start taking care of everybody else's problems, before you know it, your 2 hours is gone and you didn't do your vital behaviors. You didn't do the things that you needed to do to hit your goals. So that's one thing I always do. And it's important to get back to your customers, yes. Important to get back to your coaches, yes. Like you'll know that I always do that, and Brigitte will know, like if she texts me or writes me a message, I'll get to it, but it could be 6 hours, or it could be 10 hours, or 12 hours, or it could be the next day. Depends on where I'm at on my list or during my time. So, most people, if there's anyone in here that owns a business or works from somebody, or even any company, I guess, if you order like something, I ordered some beds the other day, and there was a problem with it, so I wrote them an email back. It took them like 48 hours. I wasn't upset because they got back with me. A lot of times we expect nowadays with the mentality of you get things quickly with text messages and stuff that you want an instant result. Just know that it's good customer service to get back to someone within 24 hours. So you don't have to be immediately like on everybody, like taking care of everybody's problems right away. So make sure you do your list first, and then you can go forward and help everybody else. Here's the list of things I do. So when I sit down, I do these right here. This list of things to do. I'll just read them to you real quick. Read or listen to at least 20 minutes of personal development. And I teach people to start with a slight edge. And I have people listen to Craig Holliday's 90 Days of Excellence. So read or listen to 20 minutes of personal development. One thing for personal development, Brigitte hit on that pretty strongly today. I listen to personal development during my workout as well, and that gives me like another 45 minutes of personal development. So all I do is get on YouTube with my smartphone, and it'll be on here right now. I get on YouTube with my smartphone. There's John Jareday's page. Okay, right here, I'll tell you. So I get on YouTube and I just search something I need to learn. So this one is on change and progress. So there's things I need to change in my business. I need to progress further. So I searched Tony Robbins change, and I was listening to right here, moving from change to progress. Tony Robbins. There's thousands of videos from Tony Robbins, John C. Maxwell, Jim Rohn, all these amazing people that you can be mentors. It's like having a mentor in your home when you're listening to these guys. So I put that on my chair like that, and I hit play, and I mute my workout, and I do my workout and listen to personal development. So you can do extra personal development aside from your reading. So that's what I do. And then I do at least 2 exposures. And one of my brand new coaches had a good word for this. He called it what do you called it? Conversation starters. Called it 2 new conversation starters a day. And Brigitte talked about she takes it away from Beachbody if she can. It's just starting a conversation with 2 new people a day. And when you do that consistently, this is where you guys have to get. You have to do it consistently. Like I have a brand new coach, Josh Holt. He hit Success Club 13 in his first month, but he knows me because I did a conversation starter with him when I was a brand new coach. When I did mutual friends like Brigitte talked about, I had a friend was like, hey, that thing you're doing with your bike looks pretty awesome. Awesome job. He never wrote me back at all. But he said, when we spent the weekend with him, he said, it's crazy, but you sent me this random message and I saw your very first P90X pictures and I thought that was pretty cool. So we never had a conversation, but I just watched you. And 3 years later, and he's a coach and he's a rock star coach now. So just know conversation starters. It's just starting those conversations and then staying consistent. Two a day is the minimum. If you really do 2 a day, you can hit Success Club 5. But it's 2 a day. It's not bothering the same 2 people over and over and over. Two new ones a day. I personally do 5+ a day to hit Success Club 10. So just want you guys to know exactly what I'm doing. I do 5 a day. And it has to be on my list. I have to consciously go out and start a new conversation with somebody. Number 3, be proof the product works. I do my workout, drink my Shakeology. Post about your workouts. I do it all the time. I used to I'm doing my P90X chest workout. Anybody else doing a workout? And there'd be crickets. So just know that that's normal. But be doing it consistently. You're going to begin to get people, to start engaging with you on that level. And then other people see it. Just for you to talk about all that. Then I call or text one person randomly to encourage them, whether they are a coach, customer, or just a friend. So I try to add value to somebody, whether they're in my Beachbody business or not. Just part of my thing is not anything that you have to do. I just want to share with you guys what I do. Post inspirational or engaging things on Facebook 3 to 5 times per day. So that's Brigitte's thing that she talked about. So that's a consciously go through, that's your list. You do that. That's something you do every single day. Not when you feel like it or when you don't feel groggy or don't feel sick. It's something you do on your list every day. And I would plan them like she says. She says she emails them to herself. I would do them when you're the most excited about life. If it's right after your workout, do it right after your workout. Don't do it when you're the most drained in your day, after playing with all your kids or after you get through your list of where you're helping people deal with their problems. Do it when you're the most excited. I make all my videos, so you guys know, right after my personal development. I just barely did a workout. It was the personal development. So all I do is I take what I learned from John C. Maxwell and Tony Robbins, and I apply it to life. And I just share it with somebody. I don't know who's going to watch it, but it gets us coaches now. And I did it for the reason that Brigitte said in the beginning. You have to tell someone more than once. You might as well make a blog post about it or a YouTube video so you can save time. Because if you're going to be a high performer, you got to save time. But then it can also recruit for you. So I do that, and then I check into my Facebook groups. I have a video as well if you need it, but you can organize so you guys know. You should post in your groups every single day. I say even if people don't post that or comment, especially your team groups or your challenge groups, it's important that you at least always lead by the example. I remember the Team Dynasty page when I started, it felt like 8 months of crickets with me just every day. Like, hey guys, this is what I learned on the National Wake Up Call today. What did you guys take away from it? And it would be seen by 20 people and no one commented or liked in the beginning. But it was just being a consistent example of showing people what I was doing every single day. So check your groups. You can organize your groups on Facebook. There's a little tool, just bring it up. There's a little tool in the right-hand corner. You can click it when you're in the group and hit add the favorites. And it comes over on your left side of your Facebook page over here, right under where it says messages, news feed. Then you can organize your groups over there so that when you get to this step 6, you can just go through all your groups real quick, like challenge group. Maybe you're in a Coach Basics group with your sponsor, your team page. Go through those, welcome new coaches, read all the posts, learn answers from people's questions, engage with the team and challengers daily, just showing them that you're there as their leader. Same goes for your challenge. You're leading those people too. So do that. And then I do follow-ups on the phone and via email. That's this part right here, this people part, people I need to reach out to. And then answer all business-related emails. Now we get to the email stuff because I've done all this stuff that's really important for my business, the 3 vital behaviors. I've done my workout, I've done my personal development, and I've done my exposures. I started conversations with people. I did those. Now I can move on and do all these other things where emails comes later. That's where I start helping people with their problems, like answering their questions, answering, if Brigitte's struggling with something, that's where I can be like, okay, I just saw your text. Can we talk on the phone? Or I just saw this message. When can we talk? And I set appointments to talk with people. So, and that right here, that's where I set appointments for people. Next, check the Coach Online Office. Like, you guys own a business, so make sure that you guys understand your Coach Office. Like, learn a little bit every day, like Brigitte did. She learned that thing inside and out because she wanted to make this a business. So, but check there. Once you become an Emerald, you start getting customer leads, Success Club leads. So you need to learn your office and check into your office every day. So when you get these new leads, you can reach out to them. A quick story. Okay, Brigitte, she stalked me for a while on Facebook because my profile was public. So we didn't know each other before. She bought Shakeology from Team Beachbody because she didn't want to reach out to me at that point. She was assigned, so she was someone's free customer lead, a Shakeology lead. Someone got a commission for her purchase. They showed up in her office, and they never reached out to her. She said that maybe if they would have reached out to her, she would have signed up with them. But number 21 coach in the company was a free customer lead to somebody that didn't check their office and see that she was ordering product from them.
The funny thing about it, I was stalking his totally reading his blog post and his page, and I knew that every month I was making somebody $3 million. And I'm cheap, and so I was like, I can't believe I made somebody $30. I kept somebody's email. So every time I got that much, like, it hit my account, that was for 4 months.
4 months. So someone made $120 off of Brigitte and never reached out to her, probably because they never checked their office. No, probably not.
I don't know who that is.
So, but she's number 21 company coach in the company right now. Like, you have people out there, so make sure that you treat it like a business. If you get a customer, give them the best customer service you can. Maybe they don't answer back, but let them know you're there for them. So those are the things I do. And the last thing on the list is listen to team calls or national calls. That would go onto here. Like, it could be one of my projects. Like, if I miss the national coach call, I don't get on live, then that would go on my project. I need to listen to the national coach call. I'm going to make time to do it. And it could go during my workout. That's actually when I listen to them, by the way. So that's during the workout, or maybe another top coach posts a webinar, or maybe Brigitte posts a webinar and I need to learn from that. Then I would listen to that as one of my projects to do that day. So that's what I do with my list. Remember that you are the CEO of your business, that we all have the same products, so it's about being you and being unique, learning to share your story. And Brigitte says this about herself, and I say it about me, like, don't be afraid to invite somebody. I remember, Katie, what was it you shared at Super Saturday? Yeah, I mean, you weren't even a coach at Super Saturday.
No, it was the last meeting.
Oh, yeah.
My coach, I was invited.
The rest is history. So just invite people, share your story, invite people, and remember, as we build the team, like, I know we could be like the biggest. We have a small town, but it doesn't matter how small it is; it's how big your heart is. I believe. Like, we have a lot of heart in this town. We can be the biggest, like, Beachbody hub network in the country. And yes, we're helping people locally. I mean, look at all these coaches that are here right now because we started 3 years ago. But we're teaching you guys as well, like, how to expand beyond Idaho Falls. So just know that there's people out there looking for you. So lead people by example. I think the next one, the thing I want to do leadership next time is next month, December, leadership stuff. Okay. But Brigitte hit leadership on the head, which is one thing pretty much is, like, once you have your first customer, you're a leader. So you just have to decide at that point, be like, I'm going to be the best dang leader I can for that person. Don't look for somebody else to teach you. We have great leaders in our town to help you, but it comes down to, and I had a whole thing on it, and we won't hit on it, but John C. Maxwell teaches a lot about leadership. He's got like 70 books. So listen to John. If you struggle with leadership, listen to John C. Maxwell. But the first thing on his list that I was going to share, and I'll just hit that first one, is to be a great leader, you have to learn to lead yourself. Now, how do you lead yourself in this business? You set your hours, you define your purpose that you're working for, then you set your hours, and then you do your list. You lead yourself. Like, if you can lead yourself to do your activities every single day, remember that people do what they see, not what you tell them what to do. So just be the best leader by example. And there's other points to leadership that we'll talk about. But the first one he talks about every time is to learn to lead yourself. And if you can look at your own day, this is the way to tell if you're a great leader, one of the ways. If you can get to the end of the day, and I recommend at the end of the day, 10 minutes of just quiet solitude. Think about your day. Think about, like, did I kick butt today? Like, you've designed your purpose, like what your purpose is. And then go through and look at your list with check marks. If you need to make a check mark, go through and be like, did I do that? Did I do that? And you go through your list, and you did that, but not just do it to go through the motions, but did it with your purpose. Like, you got present with people, you got excited about life, and you did your list with that excitement and that presence. Then that day, you know, okay, I kicked butt today. I was successful. Then when you can define success as your normal, like your success as in completing a list, leading yourself, and doing it with like excitement and passion, then you begin to become a leader because somebody has an example to follow. So we'll talk more detail about that later. But thank you guys for coming. Brigitte did awesome. You guys all did awesome things. So that's it. Cool. We need some music in here to get us on the way out of here. But